Hello gamers and welcome to episode 392 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 16th, 2022. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Man, what's going on in a couple of weeks because we've been gone for, we missed last week, but we're back. And it's a lot been going on, man. There's been a lot going on, especially in the sports world. God, it's a lot going on because we got baseball playoffs. We got NBA drama, even in the preseason, with guys punching out dudes. And and then you got the NFL in full swing, man. They got college football going crazy. Man, there's a lot going on. I'm just going to run through it real quick. So the big thing, baseball playoffs is going on. So far, two of the teams that I did like are out. I mean, of course, that was going to happen. Being that one of those teams were playing against another team I did like, which was the Padres versus the Mets. I like the Padres because of Machado, former Oriole, and he's been kicking ass this postseason. He's like the leader for that team.
Nice.
Now, especially with their other best player being out. He was injured and because of enhancing drugs too. So he didn't play none of this year. So yeah, Padres beat the Mets. They beat them in 3 games because the first round is 2 out of 3. So I feel bad for Buck Showalter. Another chance to really do something big. 100 wins. He had 100 wins this year. The Mets, I mean, they were favored to win, and yeah, they couldn't do it. Then you have the Seattle went to the next round, so they were surprised. They beat Toronto. Then you have Tampa Bay losing to the Cleveland Indians, / Guardians. I'm sorry. And so you had the Cleveland Guardians playing against New York Yankees. So right now, as of this podcast, the Guardians are in the lead 2 games to 1. So if they win one more game, that is it. It is over. So hopefully by the time you hear this, Yankees will have lost. And then also, but these other games already happened. You got the Houston Astros beating the Seattle Mariners, sweeping them, and they're going to the next round. So they've gone to the American League Championship for 6 years straight, which is tied for the most in both leagues.
Yeah.
And because Atlanta was the previous record holder back in the 90s. Well, they used to go all the time, but they never win the World Series. They just won 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the LA Dodgers, who won like 111 games. They lost to the Padres, and so the Padres upset them because then they owned the Padres to the regular season, but the Padres got them, and there's really no excuse. Really, like LA is loaded. I mean, their batting lineup is scary. Their pitching is scary. Like there's only one guy who hit on the pitching crew, starting pitchers, who has an ERA above 3. There's only one guy. Everybody else is below 3. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I mean, hey, the pitching actually did good for the Dodgers. It's just that the bats went cold for the Dodgers, or you can say the bats didn't really go cold. Maybe the pitching for the Padres was just, excuse me, was good for those 3 games they had to win. Because the last 2 games, they were pretty close. Now, the last game, I think it was 5-3. That was probably the most that the Dodgers really gave up. But the Padres pitching, man, they've been doing great. They've been looking great this series, and good on them. They're going to be playing the Phillies, because the Phillies upset the Atlanta, another team that's won over 100 games. So, yeah, good for them. So Bryce Harper, because he was with the Nationals, and when he left, the Nationals won the World Series, so that was a big joke. It's like they're the best player that they left, and he won. Comes to find out that they still had quite a few good players for the Nationals, and now they're all gone, though. They're all gone for the Nationals. But one of those players, Soto, is on the Padres. So it's going to be Juan Soto going against 2 former Nationals going against each other, 2 great players who played for that team. Then you have Machado, another young guy who came in the league the same year, but after Bryce Harper. He came in later in that year. Bryce Harper came in earlier in that year. So you have the two young guys. Technically they're veterans now. They were young, but they came at the same time. They're the big guys in the league. They were the ones who got the big contracts in the league, and now they're fighting for that World Series, man. And that should be awesome. I can't wait to watch that. And then you have on the American League, we're waiting for the Yankees and the Guardians, but the Houston is waiting to see to play them. And then Houston has a former Oriole Mancini on the team. So yeah, good. It's like good for him that he gets to probably maybe partake in the World Series, man. So yeah, that's cool. And if Yankees lose, all the 100-win teams have lost. They'll end up being out the playoffs. Yankees are the last 100-win. Actually, I don't know if the Yankees won 99 games or 100 games. Shit, let me look it up. Let me make sure. Yankees. What is your record? Shit, did they show me their playoff record? Nope, never mind. All the 100-win teams are out. Yankees only won 99 games this year.
Oh, wow. They really didn't make it, huh?
Yeah, so all the 100-win teams, except for Houston. Houston's the last one. They won 106 games. I'm sorry. So Houston is the last 100-win team to still be there. Everybody else lost. That's, damn, it sucked. That has to just suck. Like, you win all those fucking games. 162 games in a year, and you win 100 plus of them. And you get knocked out. I mean, it hurts. It has to hurt.
Yeah.
Especially, too, if you lose. It's one thing to lose to another 100-win team. It's like, down, it hurts, but at least, hey, you play against you play against somebody who really did great, too. But, darn. Yeah, so the wild card teams. Yeah, the wild card teams won for the National League. That's the thing. The guys who played in the early, like the first round, they didn't have the bye. They won. Houston's the only team with the bye that has won. Yankees the last one. So basically, almost everybody who had a bye, if the Yankees lose, only Houston is the only one who had a bye that won. And I want to see if that's going to be a trend. Is it gonna be a trend in baseball where, hey man, the bye week ain't good? It's like you don't want to have a bye. But I don't think I don't know.
You got cold bats baseball now, Dominic.
What you say? Yeah, exactly. Did the bats go cold? But I gotta see the scores because Yankees did. Well, they did put up one yesterday, but Cleveland actually came back in the ninth and beat them. And I think the Yankees were undefeated in the playoffs. Oh, it was some kind of score. Going to ninth inning, they were leading. They were something and probably 0, I think. But Cleveland beat them. Yeah. Yankees, I think it was, I forgot the record was, but it was something crazy. But yeah, this playoff's been good. This playoff's been really good. It's been some innings too. Like, the Houston game, it went to 18 innings or something, or 16 or 18?
Oh, wow.
Innings with 0-0. Like, nobody
wow,
scoring.
Even more. Ugh.
And then it was another game that went to like 16 innings in the first round. That went super long. So yeah, it's been some crazy games. All right. So what else is that happening? You have the college football. I was going through real quick. Alabama lost, so I was happy. And because they always be the favorite, they always go. But watch this loss, they only probably jump one rank though. So they're probably still end up being in the playoffs. It seems like that always happens. Someone might upset them in the regular season, but thing is, the team that upset them, they fuck up. So then they'll get able to get back up in the standings and get in for the playoffs. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen this year because I'm just tired of seeing Alabama in the championship. I'm tired of it. Maryland won, and they came with the sacrifice because our quarterback got hurt, so that sucks. But it looked like we was going to lose because the quarterback got hurt when they were down. But after he got hurt, it seemed like all they did was run the ball, and they scored. They scored twice to get the lead, and the other team also helped by also fumbling the ball to get a turnover. So So Maryland, they got away with one, probably because I think they would have won definitely if the quarterback was there. But for them to win this game, because it was looking, I mean, it was a good game and against Indiana, but Indiana was moving the ball against the defense. So I'm thinking like, man, with him out, it was definitely over. And I had turned the game, and then I turned it back. I saw Maryland had the lead. I said, "What the fuck happened?" I said, "How the hell this happened?" So Maryland, all they need to do is win one more game to get a bowl game. But I don't know what's the extent of the injury for the starting quarterback. We'll see and how they'll affect because they got some toughies. Though if they do play Rutgers, they definitely can get one game. But they should beat them. But yeah. Because Maryland been looking all right this season. They played Michigan really good. They couldn't come through. Purdue, that was a real disappointment right there. It was a close game too, but see, they should have won that game. So they should already be at 6 fucking wins right now already. But hey, they didn't come through. But hey, hopefully they do. They're definitely, you can see it's definitely a better team than last year. What else? Oh yeah, but Tennessee beating Alabama. Man, the crowd was all flooded on the field. Man, if you see that video, then they tore down the goalposts. And the last time they did beat Alabama, they had tore down both goalposts. This is back in the 90s, I think. They had tore down both goalposts and threw it in the river or something. And I don't know if they did that this time. I know they marched it out, though. They marched it out of the stadium. But yeah, they talked about it too at the early show. Like there was at the ESPN College Game Day. They were talking about how there will be a fine for if the goalpost get taken down or something. There will be a fine penalty be paid. So somebody said, I'm just saying I'm not condoning this happening, but maybe you should just probably set some money on the side of Tennessee just in case you win because it looked like that might happen, and it did, of course. But yeah, that was a fun game. That was a great game between them. They were going back and forth, and I actually thought Alabama was going to win because it seemed like Alabama always comes through in these close games, but Tennessee did it, so good for them. And Peyton Manning was there, of course, because he came from Tennessee. He was on the Game Day show too. McAfee, he does the Game Day show now, College Game Day, which is funny. I remember McAfee saying he don't watch college football, but I guess he does now because he's getting paid for it. So there you go. But yeah, he was up there, and then him and Peyton was conducting the band during the show because they asked Peyton to conduct the band. He said, "I want McAfee up here," and then he was like, "Oh, the sheriff caught me." He ran up there and started doing it. It was cool. Yeah, that was a cool game. It was a cool day. It sucked that I had to keep switching between them and Maryland because they were at the same time. Because that was a big game, and then Maryland was on the same time. But of course, I'm a Maryland fan, so I was looking at that game mostly. There's a lot of other games happening too. I didn't watch them all because I've been watching baseball. Because college baseball. The playoffs has been going on, so I'm kind of focused on that. So NFL, what's been happening? Washington sucks still. I want to go for that first round pick. They pissed me off though because they won Thursday night game, and I was rooting for us to lose. And Bears had so many chances to beat us, and they fucking caught the ball. The man had the ball in his hands at the goal line, but he didn't have control. And then when he finally had control, he fell on the 1 yard line, and that was it. Like any other time, I would have been so happy and ecstatic. Like, yes, we did it. He forced him to stop. But then I was like, no. Now we have the tiebreaker over the Bears if they want to lose every fucking game. So I have to hope the Bears win some more and we lose because we got 2 wins and they got 2 wins, but we have the tiebreaker over them. So yeah. I'm like, God damn it. But everybody else in the East, like we're the black sheep of the East now, the NFC East. Because everybody else in the East either have 1 loss or 0 losses. The Philadelphia is the only undefeated team. The Cowboys only have 1 loss without Dak Prescott. So now people are asking, like, do they start Dak when he's healthy? Because this guy's been winning. Yeah. Now, those teams are playing against each other, though. The Philly and the Cowboys. So we'll see. people saying if they win with this guy as quarterback, what are they going to do? I don't know. I would think they still start Dak. It all depends how he looks, because the guy, he hasn't been doing incredible numbers. He's just been managing the game, and he hasn't done a lot. He doesn't done a lot of turnovers. Actually, I don't know if he's done a turnover. I don't know it. I don't know his stats fully, but I know he doesn't turn the ball over. I know that.
Yeah.
But he doesn't get a whole lot of yards either. But he manages the game for them to win. He keeps it in there. Their defense is what's keeping them winning, though. Like, Dallas' defense is probably one of the best in the league, or the best. It's like they're in top 3. I know that, definitely. So they're the reason why they're there. Philly has just been incredible so far. So I'm curious to see what they do against the Cowboys. Like, Jalen Hurts, I cannot believe how well he's doing right now. I wonder if he can keep it up. I don't know, but good for him. Giants are the worst 4-1 fucking team I've ever seen in my life. I don't know how the fuck they are 4-1. I mean, Saquon Barkley is a beast. I mean, he's probably the best running back, like, now. Like, I mean, he's got to be the best running back now. I mean, the guy is just phenomenal. And the quarterback is The quarterback's but he can run. And they don't really have any receivers. Like, they just get yards by running Saquon Barkley, and a quarterback, he gets some passes sometimes, but then he'll run and get some yards. Like, that's the only weapons they got. And the teams can't beat them. The fucking Packers lost to them in fucking London. Like, they had no business losing to this team. Like, it was just, I don't know what the fuck it is. The defense is not super great. It's okay, but it's like an okay defense. It's not horrible, but it's not great either. Like, I don't know how the hell the Giants are what they are. It's amazing that they're there, but I look at that team and then I look at our team. I'm like, why the fuck can we just look like that? Like, why can't we just win games like that too? Like, it's like, this is ridiculous. I mean, I understand we don't have the running back like Saquon Barkley. I mean, the guy is awesome, but why we look as shit as we do? It's like, should we look this bad? I say, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I know it's a lot of things going on with our owner. There's a big report out for ESPN by Daniel Snyder about what he's saying. Like, there's been reports of people in his circle saying some things like on the lines of the reason, like, he said that if he's going to get taken down, he's taking people down with him, basically. Something like that. He said he got something on everybody. He said if they want to do something with me, I got something on everybody. Say they're not going to touch me. And that's some people say, yo, I kind of want them to go after him because I want to see what these other stuff these owners got. And so it's interesting, though. I hate those reports too because it's always anonymous. Like, ain't not one person came out to say them because they all want to keep their jobs, and he probably got something on them. He probably got something on them too. It's like he got the family hostage. So they got they don't want to say nothing, and it sucks that happens because then it's like I mean, I believe it. To tell you the truth, I personally believe it. But thing is, it could still be a lie also. So it's like because you don't know. I know he did something wrong, but nobody can prove anything, or not, or if they can prove it, not willing to. I guess you can say. I mean, everybody wants him to get rid of his team. Like, there's nobody in Washington I know who wants him to still be the owner. Like, everybody wants him to go. And one guy, I don't know where y'all heard, he said, I would pay him. I said, I would pay money for, like, if we could just all pay money, like, for him to go to move the team. Yeah. Like, we'll still get a team, but he can just move this team because he just destroyed it. He said it doesn't feel the same anymore. And that's true. It don't feel like what the Redskins was. Like, I know they changed the name, but that's not the reason why I don't feel the same. It didn't feel the same for years, even be called the Redskins, because they just been horrible. I mean, they've been bad, and when they've been good, it's been barely. It's like you had to do like a run at the end. And the last time we went to the playoffs, we were 7-9. We were below. That's because the whole division sucked. so we were the least sucky, and we got in. And yeah, man, it's just so frustrating. It's like, dude, this team hasn't won in so many years. Like not only just Super Bowl, just being competitive. they're staying consistently competitive. Like a team you talk about every week. Like we finally played Dallas. It didn't feel like Dallas week. It didn't feel like, oh yeah, we're playing the Cowboys. Like it just didn't matter. It just didn't, it's like this team is shit. Like what the fuck? Yeah. I mean, it's just becoming just a shit show basically. And like, and us winning that game, like even a lot of people were just saying like it didn't feel like a win. I mean, first of all, people complaining because it was a horrible game. Like it was just a horrible game to watch. If you're just not a fan of either team, oh shit! If you're a fan of the teams, I mean, because everybody was saying it was a horrible game. it's a shitty game. And then, like some of like people like fans like me are like, should we have won this game? Like this doesn't feel like a win. You probably should have lost because at least we could say, hey, we're getting close to the number 1 pick. But yeah. Anything else in sports? Oh yeah. About the punch in basketball. Draymond had punched his teammate. What's his name? Jordan Poole. Don't know the reason behind it, but there is a video out there of it.
Okay.
Like he got in the guy's face and just knocked the shit out of him. I mean, now here it's different kind of sucker punches. All right. Like I think it's a sucker punch because you didn't expect it to escalate to that point, even though looking face to face. Like it's one thing you look at face to face and you know you're about to throw hands, but I don't think Jordan Poole was trying to not do anything. So it is a sucker punch because he wasn't expecting a punch. Because I think if Jordan Poole was expecting a punch, he would have been some type of defensive move. the man wasn't, because he really knocked the crap out of him. And now he was all right. It seemed like after it because they showed him shooting around. So some people are trying to. I mean, the people who are trying to like give it a soft blow, saying like, yeah, it does look worse than what it was, but whatever, man. I mean, it's still the dude at that moment was not what the dude fell back. All right. He got knocked down.
Yeah.
he was going to get back up and start fighting at that moment. Yeah. So now people talk about how there's usually fights a lot and practice and stuff. This is not. I mean, it happens. It happens, and I know it happens because there's always a story about Jordan punching out Steve Kerr. Unfortunately, there was a video. I'm sorry. I mean, they said the video changed it. No shit.
Yeah.
It videos do that. And so what? I mean, I mean, there's video evidence. So now we see it and we know, cause see, here's the thing. When people told me like he punched him, I'm thinking like some other fights I see in the NBA, like in a real game, people might throw a punch, but it never gets like a good hit in. Like you might get a little side or cause somebody was trying to break it up so you couldn't get a real good hit in, or the guy dodged it a little bit. So you got his shoulder. Like, it's always something like, yeah, it really wasn't a punch. Like, he didn't really get him. Or, like, he didn't punch him as hard as you thought he did. Like, you see that. I thought that's what it was. But after seeing it, now it's like, oh, shit, he got a blow. Like, he got in him. And now people are saying he only got suspended like a few, not even some games. Like, I think he got a fine or something. He's going to be there. And people are saying because they want him to be there for ring night. And I'm like, what? Who cares? I mean, if you want to punish, just punish him. It's just ring night. He won 3 rings before this. I think he'll be okay. So what? He don't show up. And like, that's why I think they really didn't do a punishment. They waited because they want to see how it died down. And then people don't care about it no more. And I don't know if it's still a big deal, honestly. I'm playing the public. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I'm not going to argue, like, he should be suspended or anything. I'm just saying, if they did suspend him for some games, I wouldn't argue against it. I'd be like, shit, why not? And some people, they're saying that they think he was mad. Now, this could be a joke, too. But I don't know. I don't know what they're arguing about. He could be mad that because Jordan Poole got paid some money. He got paid some big money now. And they're not giving a big money to Draymond. Well, Draymond has been on a decline for a while, and he's older. Jordan Poole, man, what year he's in? I forgot what year he's in. Is this his 2nd year or his 3rd year? He's a young dude, and he's looking good. Like he was, when Curry was hurt, he was in place of Curry, and he was, man, the man was, like, he was doing big. Like, he was good. Like, he was, like, their top scorer and 3-point guy when Curry was out. And he was even starting over Curry because Curry was still somewhat hurt. He could play, but giving him time.
Yeah. He was drafted in 2019, it looks like.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, the guy is super young. And so
23 years old.
So, yeah, so some people are thinking that, like, yeah, it was Draymond jealous because he's taking his money. Did who say something to that respect, or were they arguing? Some people were just joking about that. I don't know, but yeah, I mean that it looks bad. It looks bad, but Draymond, thing is, Draymond's been known. He's been having this stigma with him, like always doing something, like fussing with people. Like I remember with Durant, he got suspended for that because they were. It's one thing you don't do. They said is like you don't argue about money amongst players, and like about your money because he was arguing about a contract, something with Durant when he was on the team, and he had got fined or suspended. You seen him do stuff on the court. He used to be a guy who always go for the nuts, which I just never understood. Like, I don't know what the players call him out on that specifically, but I feel like a player should have called him out. I would have called him public because he did it during the game. I would say that's a bitch move. I said this guy's a bitch. Let's go somebody's balls. Like, what the fuck, dude? Like, it's one thing to play dirty and like you kick me. But you should go for my balls, yo. It's like, yo, like that's. I always felt like that was just like, yo, you don't do that, man.
Yeah.
And then you get called out for that. And yeah, he used to do that. I remember he did it to LeBron, and I hate LeBron. I was like, God damn it, man! Come on, you can't do that. I mean, I don't like LeBron, yo. I mean, I don't really hate LeBron, but like as a sports fan, I root against him. But I'm like, look, you got me defending this dude, man. You got me defending LeBron. It's like, I don't want to be defending LeBron, man. It's like, God damn. But yeah, he's cool with LeBron too, which is funny. Like, and that's what somebody joked about too. They said that Jordan Poole said Michael Jordan was number one, and he got mad. He got mad because apparently him and LeBron are real cool now. Like they've been like really tight. So yeah, so because there was a lot of jokes like that. So because that's why I was thinking, it's like, what? Why did he mention LeBron? I looked it up. So, because I guess that's the thing. He's real cool, LeBron. He's a big LeBron fan and stuff. So, they joke like Jordan Poole said, "Oh, LeBron's number 2, number 2 or something." But yeah, so that's really the big news in NBA. Preseason still happened this week. The season will start. I think it's the 19th. Is it? I believe. I know it's going to be the Lakers versus the Warriors, and it's going to be the Celtics versus, is it the 76ers or Milwaukee? I forgot. It's one of those two teams. I forget what it is. But yeah, so you got NBA starting up. I can't wait because I've been watching the Wizards. That's all I'm gonna be watching mostly, the Wizards games. I don't know how the hell they're gonna do. I hope they do well. Bradley Beal got that humongous contract, so I hope he definitely comes through for that. And I really don't know what players we got on the team, honestly. I just know the players from last year. I know a couple are gone, probably more than a couple, but I know of 2 that are gone. But other than that, yeah, I don't even pay attention to a lot of NBA news, so it's all gonna be a surprise to me to see what happens, who's playing. Like, I don't even know if Carmelo Anthony's on the team right now. Is Carmelo Anthony even on the team right now? Anthony. Suns are one of 4 teams interested in Carmelo Anthony. Nope, he's not on the team yet. So, Suns apparently be one of the 4 teams. I don't know who the other teams are. But
what's
good luck
the high
to him.
age range on an NBA player? Like, when are people starting to get out of the game?
Yeah, he's what, 38?
Yeah, he's 38. Yeah. So that's what makes me ask that. Like, how many more years does he have anyway?
Well, I mean, LeBron is around the same age. He's 37. He turns 38 in December.
Okay.
But LeBron is also a whole lot better. He's taking better drugs. So
also, I mean, I feel like LeBron's a guy that I'm like wondering how many more years he has too. But
he's shot. Well, he said he wants to play with his son, and that's the year I'm not watching the NBA. Yeah, I already said that. When his son gets to the NBA, if LeBron is still in there, I'm not watching it because I'm saying I'm not watching this storyline. I am blocking everything. I'm not watching no ESPN or nothing. So I will not know what the hell is going on. Like, unless I go to the Pacific website of NFL or MLB, I'm not going to know what the hell's going on in basketball. That's what friends tell me. And then I'll just scream so I won't hear that. I don't hear you. This is. But yeah. But nah, I don't want to deal with that. I'm not dealing with that show. I'm not dealing with hearing that. And I know ESPN, they will talk about that a billion. They already talk LeBron enough. I will hear that. Oh my God. I can just imagine me just throwing up all day. Just getting an ulcer. Just going, I was like, just gotta hear this shit. All right. So, any wrestling news, man?
No, nothing worth talking about right now.
Oh, okay. All right. So, I guess we move on to what we were watching. So, what you been watching, man?
All right. So,
well, I guess everything we watched, except for She-Hulk.
What's
I would say that I watched everything you watched except for She-Hulk.
Yeah, so She-Hulk, we'll start off with that just because I was the only one that saw it. The last 2 weeks have been good. This past week was the season finale of that. I thought it was quite enjoyable. You know, the episode before this had Daredevil in there finally. Everybody was kind of anticipating that. But that was fun. They had a little fight scene between them before they realized, they're both good guys or whatever. So that was enjoyable. And then this last one.
Why are they fighting each other?
So basically, She-Hulk had a client that was a superhero, and then Matt Murdock came in as the lawyer that was against her, and then he, as Daredevil, unbeknownst to her, Matt Murdock, was going after her client because, as it turns out, her client was actually the one doing some dirty stuff. So she was trying to protect her client, and then they figured out, oh no, it's the client that was doing the bad stuff. So then they teamed up and went after him. Yeah.
Well, she shouldn't have teamed up. She's still his lawyer. That's the job of the lawyer.
She was basically working under the defense that, hey, I'm trying to stop you from doing these crimes because it's only going to make everything worse for you. So she was attempting to help him. As his lawyer. So,
but I'll be like, but I'm paying you to let me do these crimes
and then defend me.
Yeah.
Something makes me think that that's not how lawyering works, Dominic.
For the mob, it does.
That is very true.
Well, for all gangs, not just the mob. All gangs, lawyers.
You just feel like there are more lawyers affiliated with the mob when I think about lawyers and gangs.
Well, that's only because of movies.
That's true.
That's true. Yeah, because all these gangs got lawyers. They know they gotta deal with that shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the season finale was also enjoyable. They definitely take it in kind of a different direction, which is more fitting to my understanding of the comics with like the fourth wall breaking stuff. She basically breaks out of the show and goes to the writer's room and talks about how, she doesn't want to do the normal like CG ultra fight that happens at the end of every Marvel thing. And they kind of wrap it up in a different way, which I thought was pretty interesting and fitting for the way the show is going so far. So I liked it a lot. I would like to see more She-Hulk, whether it be a new next season. Actually, I would like to see another season because they do some different stuff than what other Marvel shows would be. But I also would like to see her appear in other stuff, whether it be this new Daredevil series or what have you. Because, the reality is Daredevil is set in New York and this was set in LA. So, I don't know how much like natural crossover they're going to have or if they're just going to have her come out to New York for some reason. So there's that. And then House of Dragon, 2 weeks of that, the not most recent episode, but the one before that, it just like watching that, some real stuff was going down in that. I was like, this is getting real crazy. That's when basically the Rhaenyra and Daemon romance kicks back off.
Yeah.
And then
I was happy that during the romance kicked off. Yeah, it went full swing. Yeah. But I was happy that she didn't kill her husband at the time, because I was thinking like, oh man, she's gonna go hard. And I was like, well, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do. It's for the good of the kingdom. But when I saw that, because I saw the guy waiting, I was like, who was running to the boat at the end? I was like, is it the guy who killed the guy? Or the first I was thinking that was him. But then I saw the white dude already in the boat. I was like, wait a minute, that's him. That's like, oh, say that's good. But I kind of wish she could somehow tell the mother, like he is still alive. But thing is, you gotta trust that she will keep it. You don't know. She might be like, no, I don't like this. Yeah. But
yeah, because it's messed up. Like, she just lost her daughter, and now she's losing her son.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping that, or at least he would. He probably would be best to convince the mother. At least, I wouldn't tell the father though. I would tell the mother.
He can't be trusted.
Yeah, the father. Well, look, but you know what? The father said something I totally agree with. With the mother said, "Leave it to your daughters, because at least they're the real blood. Right. Your real blood." But he said, in the books, they're not going to know blood. Yeah, they're going to know name.
Doesn't matter.
And that's what and that's the truth. And I have actually, I'm more on his side on that. Because that's what it is. If you're talking about your legacy, in reality, blood means absolute shit. Honestly. I mean, it really doesn't. It really does. Because, come on, look at all the people who've been adopted or even families with blood that have bad ties with them or maybe something of that nature. Or you taking somebody who, not that they had bad, like maybe their family died or something happened tragic and then somebody took them in and they're a part of this family. It's like, it's really just your bond. It's not your blood that keeps it. That's just something we just assumed. I mean, we thought it's archaic. It's archaic to think of that way. I mean, the only way you think of that is for probably some medical reasons or something. But other than that.
And name is also just like branding. So it's like, exactly.
If
I hear that the Valerians took the throne, then the Valerians took the throne. It doesn't matter if they weren't actually Valerian blood. Nobody's really going to worry about that too much.
Nobody, no. And it don't. It's like, hey, he's my kid. He's like, this is me. This is like her saying, these are my sons and they're Valerians. Yeah, people it's not really the blood. Well, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
That's the name they're going to use, right? So at the end of the day, it's my name.
Yeah, they're not going to be sitting on the throne with the last name Strong.
Yeah.
Especially since that dude died in a fire.
But, so I totally agree with, and for her, because she seemed like she was a smart woman. I know it's feelings to that, but I know she got to think down. She said, all you care about your legacy. And when I say, that's all, at the end of the day, for people like them, that's all you have.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the most important thing, is your legacy. Because if legacy wasn't important, then I would just don't give a shit about anything. I would do whatever the fuck I want at the moment and for best for me and just die. Because it won't matter to me. It won't matter. It's like, I'm dead. So what the fuck? I don't care what happens after I'm dead. I'm just going to make shit fucked up for everybody, but happy for me, and then y'all got to deal with it when I'm dead. It's. I do like that. I like that. But yeah, you anything else to say about the episode?
Yeah, I mean that episode was just crazy because you also have the fight between the kids and
I love kids
stabbing
fighting
out of the eye.
Kids violence amongst kids is one of my favorite things.
Is it? It didn't. It made me uncomfortable watching that. Honestly, it was just weird.
Why?
I don't know. It was just
kids hurting kids. It's not like an adult beating them up.
Yeah. Oh well, it is his uncle who is also the same age, which is weird.
That's uncle.
I think more so it wasn't just the fact that they were kids, but the fact that the one kid's bashing his skull with a rock or whatever, that kind of stuff always bothers me. Well, it's a little too visceral. Happen. It did. No. Instead, he just got his eye though.
He got his eye. That's what.
But yeah, I mean that episode was intense because then you also have Allison. I want that kid's eye. So she's trying to get
I know.
The Knights Guard guy to just go get his eye, and he's like, I don't know about this. I'm not gonna do all that.
Yeah.
And then she's like, all right, I'm gonna do it myself. God. But that episode just had so much going on in it. And the latest episode definitely does too, but in kind of a completely different way. Because like the actions that are taking place in this episode definitely set up for like the larger picture and the larger dispute that's going to happen. But that one just had so many like smaller moments building up to it. It just felt intense.
Is almost like Jamie for me. Like I hated Jamie in the beginning of Game of Thrones, but turned around on him.
Yeah.
And Damon, I didn't hate him, but I really thought like he's a good guy for me not to like. I like him to not like, but now I like him.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely going in a direction with him. I think they are following the Jamie model there. My only thing is like I've said in the past, like I appreciate them just like action, no downtime. But I am definitely starting to feel with these last two episodes a sense of like missing time here, like more getting to know some of these characters.
Yeah, I kind of do want to get more into the kids. Actually, yeah, I wish I could have got to not know them more. But you know what? I don't know. It seemed like it's still done okay for me because it seemed like they didn't change much, the kids. Like, or the progression fits. Like the kid used to be make fun of the uncle / brother.
Yeah.
Who used to be make fun of when he was young.
The one who lost his eye, right?
Yeah.
I think that's
you see the progression of him is you understand it like, yeah, he looks very vindictive. And
he got bullied,
like a lot of anger,
started working out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And he just got bigger than everybody. He's taller than his other brother. The oldest brother looked like. And while the brother, you kind of knew he was a degenerate when you first saw him. And like, yeah. And like him with that whole scene, not what I seen, but knowing that he most likely raped the handmaiden or the person who take care of the kids or whatever. That like you kind of see like, oh yeah, this dude doesn't care about ruling.
Yeah,
he doesn't really care about doing none of that stuff. He just wants to live his life.
He's that guy, like you said, not caring about legacy. He's just like, I want to do whatever I want to do. I don't care what other people think. Meanwhile, his mother is like furious at him because she's like, you're tarnishing our legacy, you're tarnishing our family, kind of thing. Meanwhile,
you gotta
you're
switch out the
supposed to be
sons.
the ruler.
You gotta switch out the sons because the other one would do it. He would he would go for that shit. That's why I'm wondering because, and I want to see more interaction between the older him and his brother. Yeah, because they're two opposites. Because now he's looked like the more dominant one, the younger brother. I'm wondering how they interact with each other.
Yeah, because even when he was younger, he seemed like he had kind of he was disgusted by him, basically. So I wonder if it's still the same way, like he's just a piece of shit. Yeah. He's like, I'm out here training, becoming a one-eyed warrior, and you're just destroying our family's legacy or something.
And she is just popping out babies, huh? Because she's pregnant right now. She has twins, it looks like.
I don't think they're twins. Because I think it's been 6 years, but I think they've just been popping them out. Because I think I think Aegon's the youngest now until the one that she's pregnant with. And then Viserys, I think it was slightly older than him by like a year.
Oh, okay. And like then they're gonna pick the same name. It makes it good for the story, but it's just like why
pettiness. This is just petty.
Because Aegon is the name of one of their
one of their like greats,
legacy, right? One of the big So one of the old Targaryens. His name was Aegon, and it's funny because Aegon is a name I heard before in other media.
Yeah, well, Jon Snow, I think, ends up being referred to as Aegon once they like reveal his lineage.
I didn't mean Game of Thrones. I meant
okay.
I mean in other media. I
Gotcha.
heard Aegon.
Sorry.
Does that mean dragon in the language?
I don't know.
Does that mean? Because I've heard that before. I think it was. Oh no, it was with the E, without the A. It was Aegon without the A.
Okay.
That was that dragon book.
The dragon book. Okay, yeah.
I forgot what it was called. It was a movie, but it did horrible.
Yeah. Aragon.
Aragon, Aragon, yeah.
He stocked so many of those books, Dominic.
But it's good. I mean, I do like it. But it's this thing. It's like I hate that dude now. I wanted to like him, the oldest son of the king. I wanted to like him, but see, when you do rape, it's like, oh fuck you, man. I don't care what happens to you. Like I can't. Like even if you somehow turn good, I'm not gonna like you.
And that's
the
thing, right? Is like they initially it was just like he doesn't want the job. He's gonna do whatever he wants. He's gonna drink and have sex or whatever. But yeah, they were like, no, this guy isn't a good guy. We're gonna kick this episode off by letting you know that you should not be liking this character.
Yeah, because I was just like, hey, man, he don't want the job. I mean, that's him, and like I feel bad for him.
Yeah,
and, I mean, I still kind of do. I mean, cause the stuff like this could lead to that. I mean, to stuff like that. But then also, I'm like, fuck you, because you could easily get it. That's the thing.
Right.
You're a fucking prince. You can easily get it from anywhere else, like anywhere, Yeah. I mean, it sucks that they force you to fuck your sister. I know, man, but whatever, man. This is what y'all do. It's what y'all do.
It is apparently what they do.
Don't get attached to anybody. I say when you have like in this family, it seems like if you have a sibling, do not look at them like a sister. They say, "This is sister." Nope. This is a person.
It's a person that I will one day likely marry.
Yeah, I don't. They say, "Well, she came from." No, she didn't. La la la. Nope. They say no. Don't do that. If you do this, it ain't gonna work. It's like, so I will kill myself.
Yeah, the relationships are getting more and more complex, if you will.
Yeah, or less
far
complex,
less complex. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I delayed there for a minute, because they are streamlining this process very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Tree got like 2 branches,
and they're intertwined.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode was interesting because you have Viserys, who is basically at this point falling apart. We thought he was dying like 2 episodes ago, and he's still trucking along. I shouldn't say trucking along because he's barely moving, but laying in bed, basically doing nothing. Meanwhile, what's his name? The old tower dude, the hand of the king, is just like sitting in the throne, getting a little comfortable because his daughter's the queen.
I don't
know
how you get comfortable on that throne, honestly.
Yeah.
That throne, I mean, no, I'm saying that throne looks like it doesn't look comfortable at all.
No.
It's just
no. Viserys was out there getting cut every time he sat down.
It's one thing to have all the swords, but I was like, can you like put some cushion on the sheet or something, man? Like it's like or like do the swords have to be so close to me? Like when that one time he nicked himself. Like the swords gotta be so freaking close to me. And can it just be symbolic? Do they have to be sharp? Can you dull it up a bit?
Dull these down. That's at least like the Game of Thrones throne was a little more like the swords are going to be over here. They're going to be more decorative. Meanwhile, they were like, no, in the book it's supposed to be pointy. So they're like, okay, we're going to make it more pointy. Meanwhile, you got to like slither into the chair to avoid all the sharp objects.
Yeah. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, come on, shit.
Yeah. But definitely seems like these last 2 episodes, I think it's 2 more, are just going to be all out at this point because now, Viserys is dead and Alicent thinks Aegon's supposed to be the king. So Rhaenyra's still the one that's supposed to take the throne. So the battle is going to begin, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is sad because it seems like at the end of that dinner, like Alicent and Rhaenyra were coming back together. Like they used to be friends, and you know they're starting to realize like maybe all this infighting is kind of silly. But I'm sure her dad's still going to be in her ear telling her, you know, this means you got to kill my kid. You're going to kill, you know, she's going to kill your kids.
God, so like, I mean, because these older people, man, like the father looks the damn same. Her father, the queen's father, looks the hand. I'm like,
especially like the Christopher or Christoph, whatever the Kingsguard guy, like he's been the same dude the entire time, and he's like in his mid-20s or something like that.
Exactly.
He hit his growth spurt early. Yeah, the time changes have been a little weird because like the kids have gone through 3 different phases at this point. They were super young, and then they were like kind of mid-teens, and now you know they're getting to be in their 20s or whatever. But yeah, I'm still enjoying it a lot, despite you know what I said about like the time jumps and whatnot. I think it's
I'm still enjoying it, definitely.
It's still quite good. I just wonder what they're gonna do. Like I'm pretty sure they've already announced a season 2. I don't know how long this story goes in the books. Like, did they find it necessary to jump that much to get to this point so quickly?
But thing is, I don't know how they do it in the books. Does the books do time jumps?
I don't.
I mean, the books would have to. They would have to do time jumps, but still, was there more detail? To be told. Like, was it really that much more detail to be told that was necessary, or that it could have worked? I don't know. Yeah. But I wonder how many seasons it's going to be, because based on what I've seen of this, I spoiled myself, which I'm okay with now. I'm okay with it. Because I don't know everything. I don't even know how it ends, honestly.
Yeah, same here. I know more than I have seen on the show so far, but I don't know the full breadth of what's going to happen.
I don't know how it ends, but yeah, I wonder how many seasons will they go for. I'm kind of, to be honest with you, I'm kind of hoping just 2, honestly. I'm kind of hoping just the next season will be the last one, and then we can just do whatever the hell they want to do after this with it. Like do a story about, I don't know what other book he got, or with the girl. People keep talking about they want to do one with the Stark girl.
Arya once she goes west of the wall or whatever, or west of
Arya Adventures or something. I don't know
what's west of Westeros.
But I kind of hope it's just another season. But yeah, this I'm really enjoying this. I don't know what you heard anybody saying if the I say Game of Thrones, but the Lord of the Rings, is it better?
I have heard that it picks up. It just ended this week. I've heard some positive talk around it, but some of the sources where I heard that were also pretty positive on those early episodes. So I don't know. It could just be
if it's still that are bigger some fans. Black elves and mixed race. No,
they got rid of all of them. That's why Favor turned around on it. The internet's like, I'm all aboard now. They killed them all off in the first 2 episodes.
All right, so I guess we talk about this Mario trailer.
Yeah, it was a trailer. I mean, it looks fine. There are some things that look off about it. Like, I'm not particularly excited about Mario's model. Like, his eyes are a little smaller, and I think his head might be a little smaller. Like, the proportions I
didn't look at him in detail. For that.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I just looked at it. I mostly because the Bowser thing was longer, and I liked it. I liked the Bowser and the whole penguin thing. That was funny.
Yeah,
I thought it was pretty funny. Yeah,
and Bowser looks good. Bowser looks a little different too, but
don't call it cute. It's funny.
It's funny. Yes.
You make it.
Yeah, because you got the little like penguins from Mario 64.
Yeah,
I wonder if they end up on Bowser's side because they see you throwing their brothers off the cliff in that game.
That's what I'm hoping. I was hoping that they show something like somebody throw one off the cliff. Like,
somebody's got to do that, right? Like, yeah. But yeah, the Bowser stuff looked good. The Koopas look good. Kamek, the little wizard guy, seems all right.
Yeah.
They show a little bit of Luigi. It sounds like he's probably just going to sound like that dude, Charlie from Always Sunny. I can't imagine he's going to do anything too special. And Chris Pratt's voice is just like Chris Pratt, but trying to do kind of a hey yo, hey, that kind of thing. It seems
like a Brooklyn kind of thing.
Oh, what? Yeah, exactly.
I say Brooklyn.
Yeah, a little bit of a Brooklyn. Like the initial line, he says like 2 lines in that trailer, and the first one seems kind of just flat Chris Pratt-y. And then he says like, "Oh, this is a Mushroom Kingdom" or something like that. And
I know, why can't you say like "Here we go" or something? Or "Let's go"? It's just something like Mario said. Or something.
Yeah,
let's go to Mushroom Kingdom, whatever it has.
It seems wholly unnecessary that they hired Chris Pratt. Like, you could have had Charles Martinet do that.
But let's be honest, it seems unnecessary to hire any big name actor. Even though I don't mind Jack Black, only because I think he's pretty good at the voice acting thing. But I mean, they're all good. It's just that, do you really need the stars? But I was
Mario is a bigger star than any person that they cast for that movie.
Yes, you don't need it. But I was looking up to see like what other people, because I'm not getting a definition. Everybody just has their what they think why they hire stars. Like the simple thing is that because you want a big name go with the show. But I'm always thinking, but at this people say like, but the kids don't all know the names. Some kids know names, but they don't go to see a movie because this guy's playing. It's usually just it's a cartoon, and then they say, oh, because the adults will want to see it, and I don't know. I mean, ever since I've been an adult, I always look at the reviews anyway to see if it's good. Like if somebody's in there, even somebody in there like. If the movies suck, I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. It's like
if I'm thinking about it, like there's multiple levels to it, right? Like part of it is getting that big name so they can go on a Jimmy Fallon or a Stephen Colbert.
I was getting to that. I was getting to that because they can go on shows and people know them.
Yeah.
And they
because at the end of the day, like the parents have to take the kids to the movies, right? Like so.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go anywhere.
If you want to see that movie, I don't give a shit about that movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. My dad. I mean, he didn't care if somebody was talking for it. He just always took me and he went to sleep, and then I had to wake him up when it was over.
Nowadays, that's an expensive nap, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now it is. But yeah, so I get it. Yeah. Cause I said, okay, I can see it from the interview standpoint, like to promote the movie. It's easier. But I guess the argument could be that I guess you could have made voice actors a little bit bigger where it can mean that. Like seem like the only voice actors that really get to really do that are not always in movies. It's like people who are in big shows like SpongeBob.
Right.
People know them because SpongeBob's huge. Or people from Rugrats. I remember I used to see them. And The Simpsons. Because that's fucking huge. They say, hey, this is guys talk for him. So, oh shit, that's awesome. But just getting like a no-name guy, like somebody from like, even like Nolan North or something. Like, only people I know Nolan North is gamers. I don't know people who know who Nolan North is. So, saying he's going to appear somewhere, some people are like, oh, who's this guy? So, he's playing a video game. Oh, okay. They say like they, or like, oh, he's a
looking guy.
Yeah, exactly. So I get it from that standpoint, but I still believe that there was a contractual agreement to give these stars some time. I still think it was in there that you had to get the big stars for these big movies. You had to give it to these guys because I'm just thinking like money wise. I'm like, darn, you could save a lot of money if you didn't pay them.
Absolutely.
It's like if you just got like the smaller voice actors who can still do a good job with it, just as good as job. Or better. I mean, maybe better. I don't know. But it's just that, you pay me to start. I'm thinking like, man, it's got to be some contractual thing.
Yeah.
Because why you get them to do these TV shows, you get these guys, you get the movies. And it's not like, oh, they're better voice actors. They're just bigger names.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, hey, whatever. That's the movie world. They got to fight their own fights if that's a big deal. And it might be. There's people who don't want to lose their jobs though. So they ain't going. Some people ain't going to speak up, or people do speak up. You don't see them work no more either. You don't see. You don't see. Yeah, I see that a lot. I see a lot of people who speak up about something wrong, and I'm like, oh, well, I don't see them no more.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they spoke up. Too bad. All right. So yeah, the movie, it looks all right. It looks like it could be. I can see it being pretty good.
Yeah.
I can see it actually. I would not be surprised if it turns out to be better than Sonic, honestly, because I always thought Sonic was okay.
Mm-hmm.
That it had a potential to be even better. Even though I still have not seen Sonic 2 yet.
I did actually. I forgot, but I did just watch Sonic 2 because it's on Amazon now. Okay. And it was fine. It was just like the first one. Good. It was enjoyable.
Okay, good. Yeah. Because I always thought it could be Sonic could be better, which I was surprised how good it actually was, honestly. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this is better though. Because who's doing this movie? Oh yeah, the guys who did
Minions,
Despicable Me, right? Yeah. It's Despicable Me. So the first one was always good. The second one was okay. I didn't hate the second one. I didn't see anything after that. I don't know. I did watch some of Minions. I think I saw some of that, but it wasn't. I didn't stay with it. I didn't stay watching it. I don't think I hated it. Just that it wasn't all that. So I was like,
yeah.
The first one was just the
perfectly fine, but it wasn't. It wasn't as good as like Despicable Me 1. Despicable Me 1 was enjoyable. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I guess we'll move on to what we've been playing. So I guess you can go ahead first. You played that new game, Scorn.
Yeah, I played Scorn. I thought I was going to get through this game pretty quickly because I saw on the Xbox app now they have the times of completion kind of stuff, and it's at about 4 hours. So I picked it up yesterday and started playing it, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get through this in one sitting. And then I just got very tired. It had been a long morning. And
did you play it on PC or the cloud?
I played it on PC, which it took a very long time to download. I don't know if that was an issue with my internet or the size of it. I think it's like 28 gigs, which seems a little excessive for 4 hours of gameplay. I don't know if that's just
Daniel.
High-res textures and stuff or what.
But no, I think the Xbox, I don't know. I always thought the Xbox thing was slow anyway. I mean, but that could have just been me.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't, I couldn't find at least it surfacing.
As far as downloading.
How quickly it was downloading.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got to it, and kind of the first puzzle I kind of got stuck at because I was too tired to focus on like trying to actually figure out how to get it done. So I picked it up again this morning. I played about an hour of it, and it seems, I was telling you before that I think seeing like there being a gun in it, I was like, oh, there might be actually some like more to this than just kind of walking around these weird environments. But the initial part of this is definitely just you wandering around these environments. It's got a puzzle or two here and there, but really so far I've only come across one real puzzle. I saw somebody in one of the reviews describe it as like Myst almost, and it definitely feels like that kind of gameplay, but in a full like 3D exploration setting. If it's going to be 4 hours, I'm probably going to stick with it to get through it just to see what's going on with it. But it sounds like there's not much story wise. So it's very much just like about the environment, and that's not necessarily drawing me in. I want to see what more it has to offer, but right now I'm not blown away by it. Honestly, it's not. I mean, I don't know that I was coming into this expecting to be blown away by it. It was like, oh, it's cool that Xbox finally has some level of exclusive, but it was never like, oh man, this is their big AAA,
yeah,
coming out.
The PlayStation guys are really killing it. Definitely, they are like, oh, this is supposed to be the next gen thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it does look good. I mean, the lighting and
the scores haven't been great either. I mean, sevens. I see sevens usually. I mean, it's good. There hasn't been like super great scores.
Yeah, but so far it seems okay. I should be pretty close to getting a weapon, and then we'll see what kind of transpires from there. If it becomes a little more action heavy, or is it really just having a weapon for the sake of solving different kinds of puzzles? But we'll see. It's playing it yesterday, I felt all right, but like playing it this morning, I don't know what it was. The turning was just like making me kind of uneasy, and I had motion blur off already, so I don't know what it was. Maybe I have like my mouse settings too high or something like that, and I was whipping around too fast. I don't know. That's actually, now that I think about it, quite possible that it could be the case, because on my mouse it has like the DPI setting on buttons, like right next to the click buttons, and I definitely like accidentally click them sometimes. So I could have just had like the DPI set too high, and I was whipping around in a way that I was not yesterday. So I'm getting old and uneasy with motion stuff, Dominic. So I don't know how well I'm going to fare in this new world of VR headsets, honestly, if I'm already getting queasy from just playing stuff on monitors. So, all right. Yeah, but that's what I've been playing. So what have you been playing these couple weeks, Dominic?
All right. So I've been playing just a few games, but a lot of those few games. So I mean, I played a lot of those in a few games. Mm-hmm. Well, I'll start with Dishonored. Because I was like, you know what, I want to play this again. I haven't played it in apparently 10 years, because this is 10-year anniversary. Maybe we'll get to that. I haven't played it since then, and then I had the bad ending, and I don't really remember a lot about the game, so it still feels somewhat new to me. And yeah, playing the definitive edition, so I can definitely see like, oh, it looks a little bit better. But you also can see the age at the same time because it looks so crisp. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I still like the gameplay of it. Unfortunately, I don't have a cheat for just to be stealth all the time, so that pisses me off. And so now I'm like, oh man, I gotta try sometimes. So because I already kind of beat the game before. I just wanted to see what the good ending is, and I wanted to experience it myself instead of just watching YouTube. So yeah, so I'm just got to the point where you did meet that resistance group that is helping you and giving you gear and everything to help take back the Empire or whatever it's called there and save the girl. So yeah, just playing through that. So not really much to say on that aspect of it. But I forgot about the rats in this game. Because first I was like, oh yeah, it's just like the plague. I said, well, the plague is like this. But yeah, I forgot like the rats just be eating up people and stuff. I had to watch out for them, like eating me. And yeah, so yeah, that game is still, I mean, it's cool. And I wanted to go into 2 after this because I never played 2, and also that DLC. Well, not DLC. I'm sorry, the expansion / its own game. Mm-hmm. All right. So what else I played? Okay, I finished the Virtue's Last Reward, the escape game, the nonary game's second game. And like I said, how much I enjoyed it. Yeah, the ending was good. It's very scientific to the point I had to look up wiki on some of these terms, and like, because they explain it, and they did not explain in layman's terms. They be saying these stuff, and it is like what you actually would read in the textbook. And I was like, God, I don't know what the fuck what you're saying with this whole quantum shit going on here. So I looked on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia doesn't say in layman's terms. Then I looked up Wikipedia layman, and then I understood. And then I finally, so I understood what was going on. So I was like, oh man, this is really getting to the sci-fi extreme with these, the whole multiverse kind of thing and quantum physics and shit. But yeah. But it's good. It is definitely good. I really enjoy it. I really enjoyed it. Like, I just love how your different branches, just like how they make sense and how they make sense for you to be playing these other branches. So, spoiler alert, it is like you're transferring to another time when you go to a different branch, but you don't remember everything. Like, some things come to you, be like, why did I know this? I know this. And then it comes at the end of why this all is happening and why you're doing this and how it connects to the other game, 999. And it connects to that one. Spoiler, you do see characters from that one. Well, I already told you about some of the characters you see, but also you see like them older, like I didn't even realize it, like, oh, this old guy is the guy who I played in the first game. I said, oh, that's him. And then the girl who that guy liked, she was another character who you saw dead in this, but then in another timeline you see she's alive. It can get confusing, but it does, if you follow it right. I mean, everything makes sense. And it's done well. I was like, man, this is pretty good. I like this. I like this. I like this type of almost, it's not really choose your own adventure, but just the way you go about it. And they'll stop you at certain points like, hey, to be continued. When it says to be continued, that means, oh, I got to go to another branch to finish that so I can continue this branch because I need to know something from that branch to continue. And it is so cool. Like you see different ways, like some people die, some people live. Like I said, it seemed like every time I tried to fucking escape, I think it was on one time I escaped on my own and I actually got out. But that was, I had to do that because I had to learn something so I can use when I go back to another branch. But most of the time I always try to pick to escape. They always stop me. It's like, oh, you bastards. Y'all just gonna say, y'all gonna die. Y'all gonna die anyway. So it's like, you might as well let me be free when I die, but y'all gonna get stuck in here. Somebody has to get stuck in here. So it's like, you might as well take the chance. I might actually get help, which I was going to do that. But yeah, they say, no, I'm going to stop you. It's like, oh, you assholes. That's got me stuck here with y'all. But yeah, that game is good. It's very fun. It's like, it is funny how it makes the comedy with the seriousness of things. And like, man, it could get really trippy. And it's some twists, man. Some big twists that be happening. Like, yeah, I like it. Now, here's the thing. I don't think it's like the same people do this game that did the game AI, the Sominum Files that I played.
Oh, okay.
Or the Danganronpa.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, the AI Sominum Files, I think maybe that is done by the same guys who did Virtue's Last Reward and the Normal Game ones. And maybe Danganronpa is not done. I don't know. I think it's a mix. I don't think all the people did the same ones necessarily, but they're all under the same, publisher, Chunsoft or something like that. But yeah, these kind of virtual novels / kind of games. Yeah, they done a good job. Like it's really cool how they done this. So yeah, I think there is another one. I think there's another one out that actually is somewhat of a sequel to this. I have to look it up to see. I think it is on PC, so I can actually get it. So cool. That'll be cool to try out. So yeah. So what else have I played? I also played the AI Sominum Files Nirvana Initiative, which is the sequel to the one I played before, AI Sominum Files, and this kind of fast forward a bit. It's like two timelines though. It was one that take place, I think, like maybe a year or so after the events, or 6 months after the events of the last game I played, but then it jumps to 6 years in the future, because I was playing as the girl who was like 12 in the first game, and now she is an agent, but I don't know how she lost her eye though. Because she has the eye that her adoptive father had. Now she's using it, and he's missing or something. He left or something, and like I guess as you play the game, you learn more of what the hell happened. But you're going through these two timelines because there's this killer, and who's been halving people's bodies up. Like they show up with just the half of the body somewhere, and it's like a clean half, like to a molecular level, to a point where it's literally half of them. Like there's no blood. Nothing. Like they've already been cleaned up. And like it's like, how is this happening? Where's the other half? Then the thing is, when you go 6 years in the future, you'll see like what pops up is that, oh man, the killer must be back again. But the problem is now it's very confusing because the other half of the body shows up that was there 6 years ago, But it's like, how is this body preserved so well from that time? And thing is, based on what the autopsy says, it said this guy died a few hours ago. So it's like, what the fuck? It's like, wait a minute, but you saw his half like 6 years ago. How can he possibly die 6 hours? I mean, like it's a few hours ago and half his half. So now you're kind of go back in the past to the first case and kind of put things together. And that goes in some freaking science fiction shit too. Like the whole, like life is a simulation thing and the whole, theory of like we're living in a hologram and how that is mathematically been proven that it's possible. It's mathematically proven that it's possible that we're living in a fucking hologram. And I try to read that shit because I was like, is this shit real? And then I read it's like, oh my god, this shit is real. And then I try to read that shit. Then I try to find the layman's terms of this. That still didn't help me too. Like, whatever. I say this is fucking crazy. But just like somebody said, I think I read it in like a what's it? I forgot what that website's called, where people ask questions and they answer it. But like the guy said, like somebody asks, is this really relevant? Like, should we take this serious? It's like, could it be true or something? Yes. But is it relevant? No. Until you can actually prove it, it's not relevant because like, okay, so it is. So now what? Like, what do you do about it? Like, and then how do you really know? Like, nobody's really shown any real physical proof that is there. And then it's really not relevant to anything in your life. You still gotta live your life. You can't just tell your boss, like, I mean, you can't tell your landlord or something, I ain't gonna pay my bills. This everything's a hologram. None of this is real. It's all a hologram. It's all a hologram. I'm not going, what's the point of me working? It's all a hologram. This shit ain't real. You're like, what are you gonna do? Like, your brain thinks it real anyway. Like, you still gotta eat, you still gotta shit, you still gotta do everything else. So what the fuck? So yeah. But yeah, just for people to think that, like, oh man, it's like, yeah, I said, yeah, this is that shit that's beyond like my thinking. Like, this is like, whatever. Like, this is something that's cool to read and stuff, but, and yeah, as far as like relevance, until somebody can really show it, and then how we can leave it or don't leave it. All depends how good your life is. You know, maybe you want to keep it, but that's how the story is. There is a group that believes in it, but there's a sect that separate from them, because the group that believes it, they want to leave it, to break it, and to be free, while the sect wants to say, yeah, we live in a hologram, but I want to stay here because if we know everything's a hologram, I can do anything fucking shit I want. It's like, I don't want to leave it. Like the consequences are like, and then they're trying to figure out of immortality and like how to, or resurrect, like to say, well, they get to stay, you know, they keep coming back. So if something goes wrong, they can come back. Yeah, it really gets deep into that shit. But it's fun. I'm also playing this on PC, not through, so I was playing the other one through the Xbox One. So graphically, I think it's the same. It just that looks better because I'm playing on PC. It looks a lot smoother, it loads a lot faster and everything. Because that other game is on PC too, but I didn't play it. I didn't play it on PC. I played it mostly through streaming, and actually no, I didn't play it through streaming because I didn't play that other game through your name, right? I think I played it through my name. So yeah, I think I actually played it. Yeah, I just played mostly through Xbox One. So yeah, so I can't really speak on graphically. There are some different things now. I can do like a sync. Like, you used to go to this lab and sync with somebody's brain and go to the dreams. But now you got this other kind of sync. It's called a wink sync. Like, you kind of just sync instantly, but you only can see a little bit of what they're thinking. So it's not a lot, but you get some answers quickly on certain things. It kind of this game reminds me like a Phoenix Wright, but just the investigative part. Almost like if there was a Mild Edgeworth 3D game, I would think it'll be something similar to this. Like investigating, figure out things and things of that nature. Also, you play as this, like I said, you play as new characters. Not playing as the old character from the first game, Dante. You're playing as like I said, the girl and this other guy who's like 23. Forgot his name, but this guy has a different AI eye, and I think he did it surgically. Like he didn't lose an eye and got it. I think he actually just went through the process, which I'm curious. I'm like, so do they got your eye frozen so that, hey, I don't want to do this no more, I can't get my eye back? because they do talk about how like, hey, you can take your eye out and we can put it back in you if you have it frozen or something. Who the hell is this? Nope, I ain't talking to them right now. So it's pretty. Oh yeah, but about the AI. So this one, like the first AI from the first game, was a little like it was a woman, but she was more conservative. Like she was a nice woman. So like every time Dante would do something lewd, she'd be like, "Oh no, you stop that." She'll be angry with you or something like that. If you look at a woman or something like that, say, "Oh, you're a man" or something like that. Blah blah blah. But this like the dude your ass, he's not that kind of dude like Dante. He's just like he's a dude, but he's not a pervertish or nothing like that. But the eye is like she's always making lewd comments and stuff, and he's always telling her like, "Oh, stop!" Like she's so it's like the opposite, and like and then her AI body looks like almost like a not really a dominatrix, but she looks like somebody who will hit you, like for pleasure. Put it like that. And then she always gets angry too when you say, "Hey, can you do this?" She say, "What you say?" You always got to ask her. And I was like, "What the hell?" Like she is very angry, but she always making like these lewd comments on things. Like one time, like for me to I was investigating a kid or something, but he wouldn't tell me nothing. So she said, "You got to say, oh man, so you gotta figure out how to unlock the chastity belt of his heart." Something like that. He's like, "Why do you have to call it that?" And then as soon as she wasn't even saying the heart part, she would say, "You gotta find a way to unlock the chastity belt." He was like, "Can you please at least say the heart if he's gonna say this?" He's like, "Please stop saying this." And like it's funny though. It's pretty funny. But yeah, the game, I'm really enjoying this. And the last game I played was Spider-Man for the PC. So I did get that. It does run well it does run okay on my PC. It doesn't run great. Like I have to put on low settings to get close to 60 to run smoother than it does on the PS4. But details aren't as good as PS4, but it runs better than a PS4. So it definitely looks like a PS5. I know that. I could put it up a little bit, but then it's probably running like around close to 30 frames, probably dipping lower than that. But it has some hiccups with that. So I do have to, well, I don't have to put on low, but I prefer to put on low. I prefer to have it running better. But it looks all right. I mean, it's still playable. It looks okay. The traffic I have set to a reasonable amount, not the full amount, but there's cars around. So it's not like it's empty, like with no people on the ground. I still see people around and things of that nature. Pop-ups aren't that bad. Like they aren't super noticeable. If I'm looking for them, I can see them. But going around the city is good. It doesn't take long for the game to start up for me either. So yeah, I'm like, wow, they will optimize this pretty damn good.
That's awesome.
Like when I first started, it was slow. But I guess after a while, when the memory settings start getting in and everything, I guess everything start running well. When I starting up again, when I turn the game back on. Also playing with cheats, so it makes things a whole lot more fun. So now I can just do all the stealthy missions and the time missions. I don't have to worry about them or anything. I like doing the stealthy missions when I'm MJ or something, or when I was Miles, because now I can just run through them. I don't have to wait for people to do shit. Like I'm just running past motherfuckers like I ain't supposed to. Like I run back behind them. So, yep, get right through here. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But yeah, playing through this game again, I'm reminded like how great this game was, man. Like I can get lost in this game, like just swinging through the damn city, doing all the side missions. They were fun to do. Looking through all the backpacks and shit. Even the J. Jonah, podcast shit coming up is hilarious, man. The game was awesome. The game was really awesome, and it's still great. Like it's just one of those games. Like it's like one of those games, few games I can go back and play again, and still have a good time with because of the story was really good and the action, and then with the costumes, I'm just changing costumes up. It's still just some I just like to do. I like my favorite one is still the Go Home Spider-Man costume. The Go Home Spider-Man costume, the The Far From Home Spider-Man costume too, which is basically the same, it's just darker. It just has like the bluest darker color and more navy. The I like the kind of the green, the suit is black but green eyes and a green spider one. That's kind of like the stealthy one. I like that
the
one.
Final boss one. Is that one?
No. You unlocked that early.
Oh, you're talking about yeah. I know which one you're talking about. The neon green one. Sorry. Yeah, the stealth suit.
And then I like the Black Cat one, the red one. That's probably one of my favorite kind of black ones. Then there's a new black and gold one they got. You said it was in the new Spider-Man, which I still don't remember seeing it. I also like the it's another dark one that was all right. I forgot. It's not the negative one. It's one that's kind of like bluish though. Kind of dark, and I do like that one. And then, of course, the basic Spider-Man one, the cartoon one, and the art. Oh yeah, I tried a little bit of that arachnid one, where it's like you're like a robot arachnid, some suit shit. That was pretty cool. I also like the regular one, the one that's actually in the game. It's a cool one too. I put on every now and then. Well
designed.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll be switching it up, and then since the load times are fast, like you don't have to have those load times of see Spider-Man or on the subway if you're doing fast travel. But I turn them on because I actually do like looking at them. It's like I like seeing those scenes, but it's not a lot of times I see them though. The only time I see is if I die. If I die, which I don't die much if I have the cheats on. Only every now and then, I think I forgot to turn cheats on one time and then I died. And when I I think the only time you see the subway window every time you do a fast travel, but you can hit continue real quick if you don't want to see it. But I like seeing the subway because it'd be kind of funny to see him just be on the subway, like looking at his phone and shit. But I do like those. It's like those load scenes of him like in the different costumes and different kind of poses, like swinging around and shit. I was like, darn, I kind of want to see that more. I wonder if can you just look at them? Like, is there a menu where I could just look at them or something? But yeah, the game, we already talked about the game enough, but on a PC, yeah, I can definitely see it look at a whole lot better. Like, I can probably, if I had like a better PC, I'd be playing this game probably fucking for hours and shit. Because it looks that damn good. Like, it runs really well on the PC.
Yeah. Yeah, the thought of playing that game on a PC with like a high-end PC with an ultra-wide monitor, that just seems like it would be incredible.
I'm curious about that too. I'm not really big on ultra-wide monitor thing, but I wouldn't mind just trying it.
I don't know. I'm not really big being able to see like the whole city,
Yeah, that's really the reason. I think I'm just not into the skinniness of it.
Yeah,
I'm not really big. Yeah, I'm more long but wide. That's the only thing. But other than that, yeah, I saw it how it looked like. I think on a YouTube video, someone showing it off, and I was like, oh yeah, that it looks neat. It looks like something I would like to try. Yeah, I would like to see it. To try it out just to see how would I feel about it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that's it. So I guess we'll take a quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment.
All right.
And we're back. So now we're going to flashback to 2012. We're doing the flashback segment, baby. So we're doing a flashback segment for October. We'll start from the 1st to the 16th because we did covers the last 2 weeks ago. So, and then we got to do last week. So we got some games here. It's quite a few games that really came out, but we're only going to pick the important ones. Now, we're not going to go through all of them like we were doing for a while because it takes a lot of time. So we're going to start with NBA 2K13. We got 3 people on the cover. I don't have the collector's edition cover, so I don't know what they have for that one. But the regular cover, it was Kevin Durant when he was on the Thunder. You had Derrick Rose when he was on the Bulls. But this is my MVP, Derrick Rose. God darn. Man, that injury messed him up. Now he's a good player now. But man, he was awesome. It was just too awesome. Man, that's what it was. The basketball coach was like, we can't have a guy that looks like he's gonna be better than LeBron James. So we gotta come down. Come down. And then you got Blake Griffin when he was on the Clippers, when he was doing all those awesome dunks all the time. Now you don't see him do that anymore. So also what we got here? We got Nights into Dreams, which I thought it was Nights from the oh yes it is.
Yeah.
It is a Sega Nights game.
Yep.
So it came on the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Live Arcade.
Yeah.
So you got to play it. It's like was it HD'd up?
Yeah, it was HD'd
up,
but that was when I think I finally played a little bit more of it than just playing it at the Target kiosk on the Dreamcast.
I still can't believe Target existed then, yo.
It was
I ain't never heard of Target until I worked there.
Really?
It's like a joke. No. I mean, I heard it before, but I never knew Target exists in middle school. Middle school, I didn't know Target exists until high school.
Yeah, that one we worked at was the one I would go to and play 64 games, and back when the electronic section was up in the front corner and Dreamcast games. But yeah, Nights always like intrigued me from afar, like seeing it in magazines and stuff, but then actually like spending more time with it than just the demo, which even the demo I wasn't like fully convinced. Like, you're comparing this to Mario 64. I got Mario 64 right next to me and I'm like on this track and just floating around whimsically or whatever. But then playing it on the Xbox Live through the demo, it's like, this is not good. Why was I ever excited about this?
Well, because it was different for that time. I mean, the way it was like 2D-ish, 3D-ish, like how you go upside down, even though I got confused as shit what the hell was going on when I went
exactly. It was confusing. Yeah.
What else we got here? We got Resident Evil 6 came out for the PS3, Xbox 360. This is the Resident Evil 6 that, man, it was kind of disappointment. Actually, let's see the Metacritic on this. I mean, we already talked about the game enough, but the Metacritic was...
Got to be in the 60s, right?
67 on Xbox 360, 74 on PS3.
Okay.
PC had a 69. It was in the 60s for the next generation, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo Switch actually got 69, though. Oh, yeah, nice. 69. There you go. Nobody else review it no more. Gotta keep it at that. All right. So, yeah, that game, people were pretty disappointed in it. And people thought, like, oh, Resident Evil's dead. It's going to die. This is going to be an action game now. But then it's like, no, we're coming back. Coming back with 7 and remakes and 8. And now we got 4 coming back again. All right. So now, what we got here? We're going to Cave Story for the 3DS. Cave Story is that RPG, right? Oh, it's a platform adventure.
It's, like a side-scrolling platform game.
Oh, yeah.
I remember playing that. I think it was on the 3DS. I got it through like a Humble Bundle or something like that. I think it was Cave Story Plus that I ended up playing.
That's the one. Yeah, that's the one I remember. Yeah, Cave Story Plus. Yeah,
and it was really cool. I liked that game a lot. Like, it kind of came out of nowhere. I think it had been like a big indie hit, but I just wasn't familiar with it at all. And then being able to finally play it, I was like, oh wow, I understand why everybody was talking about it.
Well, I wasn't like into the big indie scene, but I always see Cave Story a lot. I just see it. I mean, I always saw it a lot. I didn't really ever pay attention to it, but I did hear great things about it. I mean, on Metacritic, it did have on the Wii when it came out, it was an 89 and 3DS 82. And maybe the 3D wasn't good enough for it, so it could be high. So we,
imagine there was a lot of 3D in that game.
But you know what?
Honestly,
here's the thing. Wait a minute. There's 2 versions. There's a 3D version and a 3DS with the 3D and 3DS version with no 3D. That got 93 with no 3D. So that's what it was, Daniel. I was right. It was the 3D that ruined it. It ruined the game.
Man.
That's crazy. When did they come up with the 3D version? Like, they did it later, probably. They're probably like, hey, we're going to make it 3D. Hey, we must take advantage of 3D. And people was like, boo. All right. So what else we have here? Oh, we got a big game. 10-year anniversary of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. The first sequels, like direct sequels to a Pokemon game. And I'm guessing they added a few new Pokemon. I wonder how many more Pokemon did they add to it?
2.
Like, they don't even have the...
1 black and 1 white.
Yeah. Let me see. Blah blah blah. Did they say Black 2 and White 2 follows a Pokemon trainer's journey to become the Pokemon champion of Unova 2 years after the events of Black and White. Following the events of his predecessor, the criminal organization Team Plasma have come back to as Neo Team Plasma. Oh man,
It's just
damn.
Neo Team.
And the player must thwart their plans throughout the story, stopping them from ruling the world. Like, what kind of ruling the world are they doing? Like, when they rule the world, like, what is it? Like, what do they want?
They want to enslave Pokemon and have them build guns, just like in that other Pokemon-esque game.
Power World.
Yeah, Pal World is the reality that we get if Team Rocket ever wins, Dominic. Think about that.
Then I'm Team Rocket then.
Oh no.
I'm definitely Team.
Oh,
I'm Team
no.
Team Rocket. Because that's what I want. I want my Pokemon to have guns. I want my pets to know how to shoot a gun. That's what it is, Daniel. I want to have like put a rocket launcher on my dog and he knows how to
goodness.
use it. All right. So what else we have here? I meant to look to see how many more Pokemon are there. Blah 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 blah. They have it. Oh, here we go. Some of the Pokédex. Like blah blah blah. No, not in that part. New features. Okay, what's the new features? We give Canada and play and Black 2, White 2 is the Pokestar Studio side game where the player character participates in the filming of a movie involving Pokemon. Okay, I don't give a shit. Yeah, I don't know how many more Pokemon there were in this one. It got an 80 on Metacritic though, so it was still a Pokemon game. It was still good, so people still bought it. So there you go. All right, so what else we have here? We got here Dishonored 10-year anniversary. You guys already talked about it when I was playing the games I played. It came on Windows, PS3, Xbox 360. And people enjoyed it. This is made by Arcane Studios. And what was the game they made before Dishonored? What was it? It was Prey. They made no. They made it after. They made it after.
Prey came out after.
They did Dark Messiah of Might and Magic. That they also did a game on iOS, Karma Star. Okay, so this is the first game I knew of something good they did. Basically,
I feel like they must have came out of people that were from a different studio or something. Like Arcane was a big thing for some reason when they made Dishonored. I felt like.
I think we just misremembering.
I was gonna say we're biased now because of just knowing who they are.
Yeah, because I'm looking at these three games before. Karma Star for iOS, Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, which I did hear of.
Yeah,
but, yeah, and some game called Arx Fatalis, and that came out in 2002.
Yeah, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, that was a PC game. And I mean, it got 77 on Metacritic. I mean, it got decent scores.
Oh, okay.
It was published by Microsoft and Joe Wood Productions. Wood. And yeah, there you go. So there you go. All right. So hey, we got some Kinect games here, man. The Kinect is still going strong. Oh, it's going. Yeah, I should say. And then it's Dragon Ball Z for Kinect, which I did not know it was a thing. And it did not. Oh, look, it's developed by Spike Chunsoft, the games I've been playing, doing. So I wonder, is it like, hey, do you have to
you gotta raise your hand for the Spirit Bomb.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you have to do in this game? Let me see. Overview. Kinect is a first person fighting game similar to the arcade game Dragon Ball Z VR VS. VR versus, I guess it both stand for, but I don't know. It's probably VR VS. That's how you probably say it. With graphics similar to Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi, which what? Oh, graphics similar. I'm about to say it definitely can be gameplay. So do that.
It almost reminds me of like a Dance Central game because it's showing like do this position, do this position, do this position.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's set in first person, so you're looking at like I'm watching them fight the green little guys, whatever they're called, I forget.
I forgot what they call
Selbies.
Shit, I forgot what they were called.
But on the right hand side of the screen, it's basically like, oh yeah, put your arm up like this, swing your arm over like this, and then on the left hand side, it's got a gauge where it's like, okay, once you powered up, you can do this move, and you can do, the Krillin's Cuddy disc or whatever thing. So it's interesting, but I'm sure it worked like crap, just like most Kinect games.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got a 449 on Metacritic. I can't imagine being that great. All right. So what else we have here? We got another Kinect game, Fable the Journey. This is the Fable game with Kinect.
They ruined Fable.
I think it was on the one like it's kind of like a shooter. It was on the back of something shooting shit.
Yeah, you were riding like a cart or something.
Yeah, horse.
It was the one where Peter Molyneux was like, "Oh, it's totally not on rails," and then it was totally on rails.
Yeah, it got 61 Metacritic, so it's better than Dragon Ball Z, but still not great. And wow, Destructo gave it a 3.5 out of 10. G4 gave it a 2.5 out of 5. Oh, G4 was still around. Yeah, Game Informer gave it a 5 out of 10. That's probably wasn't Ronner who reviewed that. So yeah, that did not turn out well. Yeah, I didn't get any more games for Kinect. I think the only game, I stopped at Kinect Sports, basically. No, that's the last game I really got for that thing. Here's a big one. Walking Dead Episode 4. This is the second to last one. Around Every Corner. So this is the one I think people they didn't like as much as the other ones, even though I did. I just liked all of them. But I wish did they go by reviews for each one at least? Yeah, they do. This got an 82. Yeah, this is definitely the lore of all of them, which is that's pretty damn good. Is 82. But yeah, this is the episode where they come to that city. And I think at the end he gets bitten by the zombie. Yeah, you get bitten by the zombie at the end because you want to go look under that fucking cardboard or board or wherever the fucking shit was, like an idiot. Pissed me off. But yeah, it was. I mean, it was still good. I like the whole series. So
absolutely.
I definitely was happy this came out. And then we got the fifth one. When did the fifth one come out? It ended up coming out. Tell me the date.
November 20th.
November 20th. All right. So you gotta wait about like almost a month. A little more than a month until it comes out. All right. So now we got Joan Danger 2, the movie came out. So you played this. You played this one?
Yeah, made by Hello Games, who now is huge because of No Man's Sky. But Joe Danger was fun. It was a side-scrolling kind of bike game, and in 2 they added the movie stuff where it was like, oh, now you're just a stunt man for the movies, so we're going to have you do snowmobiles and water skis, stuff like that. Like they switched it up from just bikes. And it was cool. I always thought Joe Danger was kind of a fun series.
The hell? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get the football game on. What the hell channel is the Ravens games on? Oh, it must be on Fox. Shit. That's why I don't see it on CBS. All right. So what's the next game we got here? We got XCOM Enemy Unknown. It's been 10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
This game. Yeah, and I really liked it. These type of strategy games, turn-based ones where you have to move the characters, get in position. I really enjoyed this game. I played it. I think I only played it on PC. Yeah, I think that's where I first and only played it. I didn't play it on the Xbox. I just really enjoyed it. I loved also building up your base so you can get characters, and I like how like a character could die. You're like, oh no, Skippy. That's my name, probably one of my characters. And and you say, no, he's gone, and he got killed. Because first I didn't really realize that. I thought it was maybe it's gotta take time for him to respawn or something. And say, no, he's gone forever. So, oh no. But yeah, so that's why I learned not to get attached to him. Even though I spend hours just like putting up paint and like making each one and look individually different. Yeah. And then when they die, it pisses me off. It's like, now I gotta fix somebody else that looks similar to that. Put those my Redskins colors on. So yeah, that game, it was fun. The story was, it was okay. I don't remember much about it, but I know it wasn't like great or anything. But the gameplay was where it's at.
Aliens coming down to destroy Earth. Yeah.
Gather
exactly. As a planet to fight them. How crazy?
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say, how crazy is it that this is 10 years and like, oh my God, it's been 10 years. But at the same time, we went to Phyrexicon to see like XCOM and the Phyrexis games. And that was 7 years ago, Dominic.
Damn.
It's been 7 years.
Yeah, that is, man, good God. Man, time was just fun,
times when you could still have conventions.
The before times. The before times. Yeah. Oh my God, I don't know why I can't find the game. It's not on Fox. What the fuck is going on my Paramount that is not showing me a live game?
I'm trying to think. I saw an advertisement for some Ravens game on Amazon, and I don't remember which one it was, but I feel like if it was that one, if it was today's game, they would be advertising it on the front here.
Amazon shouldn't have no games on today.
Today
okay, it is the Ravens. Ravens
nights?
Is on what's it called? It just wasn't showing on. It used to show like the first thing I see for that on when I turn the Paramount on.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, they were advertising the Bucks game on the 27th, so Thursday Night Football.
I know, it's Bucks versus the who they're playing against?
For that game, it's the Ravens on the 27th, but this week I'm not sure.
I know the Bucks are playing the Steelers, but I think that is...
Yeah, they're playing the Steelers right now.
Yeah.
Man, Steelers are 1-4.
Well, they were,
keep them that way.
I don't think they were picked to be good this year or anything.
Yeah.
All right. So what we got here? We got Naughty Bear, Panic in Paradise. Ooh, Naughty Bear. Well, this ain't the Naughty Bear I'm thinking about.
Oh no, what's the Naughty Bear you're thinking about, Dominic?
Yeah, the hairy men. Yeah.
How do those always end up in your searches, Dominic?
I was about to say, I go and search Naughty Bear. I don't know if this game gonna come up.
It's gonna autofill to all your previous. Yeah, this was basically just like an awful game, but it became a meme at some point, and I think still gets talked about from time to time. Basically, you're a evil stuffed teddy bear killing like panda bears or something like that.
Killing panda bears. Oh God, they're already extinct. They're already close to extinction.
That's why you were such a villain, Dominic.
What else we have? We got Michael Phelps Push the Limit on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
This is a Kinect game?
Yeah, the Michael Phelps Kinect game, Dominic.
Oh, yep. You can learn how to swim on the Kinect. Yep.
That's
how I learned to swim. Gotta get on the floor and start.
That's why I still can't swim, because I learned from this game to swim.
You gotta be in a bathtub and have a TV, have the connecting TV in there.
Release the Switch version so I can play it portably.
All right, so what we got here? We got 007 Legends. This is supposed to be like all the best moments of 007 with Michael Craig. That's his name. What's his name? Daniel Craig. But yeah, so and it was horrible. Then you got Chivalry Medieval Warfare, which is like it's a multiplayer hack and slash game.
Chivalry 2 over the last couple of years has been pretty big. And, basically this is where it began.
Because that's the one that they keep updating and doing shit with. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it said it's, wait a minute, what's this here? It had Chivalry Delius Warrior one version 2. Supposed to be like Delius Warrior, the television series. Supposed to be, inspired by that one. But yeah, I never actually watched this game, to be honest with you. I never seen it played.
It wasn't until 2 that I really saw anything. It looked
Yeah.
kind of cool. Like, you just medieval weapons in there, first person flailing them at each other.
What we got here? We got Dance Central 3, which is the last Dance Central for the Xbox 360 Connect until it went to Xbox One. You got Doom 3 BFG Edition, which is like an updated Doom 3 up-res and everything.
Yep, you could turn your flashlight on with your gun. It was great.
Yeah, exactly. You had to mod it in. So yeah, that was cool. And now that's like on everything. Now.
Oh yeah,
because even the Switch has it.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Mark of the Ninja came out, which is by the same guys who did the Shank, right?
Yep.
You said yeah. So it was it Metroidvania or just side scrolling? It was just side scrolling.
I think it was more side scrolling, yeah. But it had that very cool, like almost Flash looking, but cell shaded art style to it. Looked like a cartoon. But it was also, very nice. A stealth game. So it was cool.
You got Rocksmith came out. This is the first release of Rocksmith. It also came out on the other systems also, but it came out like a couple days early on the Windows. This is not like Guitar Hero or Rock Band.
Not your daddy's Rock Band.
Nope, this is like you actually going to learn how to play guitar. So it's boring. It's a very boring game. That's how it is.
I think one of the big problems it had was like it didn't have any of the like licensed music. It was all like covers of stuff.
Oh, really? Oh, damn.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I heard a lot of good reviews. That was actually a good game as far as learning how to play guitar.
Yeah, people have really come around on the opinion of it because initially it was like, oh, you're just trying to be Rock Band, but you're not doing that. But yeah, I've definitely heard people say like, oh, I've learned how to play guitar a little bit from this thing.
Yep. Now they're on their college campuses trying to play songs, out
at the quad,
on the lawn. Yeah. That or like using an acoustic guitar and say, hey, Jay, listen to me play my hippie songs. I was all right. Where are we at here?
We're down.
Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 came out.
Nope.
What?
RollerCoaster Tycoon. Well, we skipped those, but 2002. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Because you didn't green them. So
yeah, no, you're right that we're going down to that, but it's also 2002. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So
I was wrong and right.
So we're at 2002, and so now we're going back 20 years. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2 came out for the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube, and only one I ever played was I played 1, and whatever came out of Hot Pursuit. I don't know.
For me, it was always like Underground. Those were the only ones I really spent much time with.
Yeah,
for Need for
I don't think I ever
Speed.
played this one, but this one got rated actually not that great. Well, actually no, the PS2 version actually got 89. I mean, that was great. But the other versions got low scores. I don't know why. Let me see. It says PS2 and Xbox got favorable reviews. Xbox got 75 though. Why it got so much lower? In 2002, the game was awarded the Console Racing Game of the Year.
That's because official PlayStation Magazine gave it a 5 out of 5. And Maxim gave it a 5 out of 5. That's why. That score is artificially pumped, Dominic.
Well, IGN gave it a 9 out of 10. They didn't. They gave the GameCube 7.3 and an Xbox 7.1. What the hell?
I want to know
specifically what was it that did that? Why the game was that bad?
Yeah.
On the other ones. Well, not bad, but to be that far worse than what it was on the PS2.
Might have been even something as silly as different people had reviewed it,
Yeah. All right, so let me go here. We got, what is this? Legend, well, it's called Legaia 2 Dual Saga, because the first one was actually called Legend of Legaia. And so this is a sequel to that game, which was rated okay. I mean, it got like a 77 on game rankings. I say 8, like 7s of that nature. Even though Famitsu didn't really like it. Well, it was okay. It's 27 out of 40. I mean, that fucking weird ass score. I don't understand it. But I played the first one, and I thought it was okay at the time. You play as these three characters. I mean, the story wasn't great or anything, but it was a PlayStation day. So I mean, the best thing I ever played was like Final Fantasy VII as far as RPGs. So anything else was always worse to me, and this was like it was fine. I never played part 2 because I think it didn't get rated that well. I think it got rated pretty it got 67 on Metacritic. So yeah, definitely. It was definitely not up there, and it seemed like it really did much improvement from that one. So yeah, I didn't bother. But I wouldn't say huge, but it had its following. But I think that's it. I don't think it had a sequel after this. I think that pretty much killed it. What else we have? We got Taz Wanted came out, which is a Tasmania game, and you said it looked pretty all right. You saw gameplay of it?
Cell shaded, looks like the cartoon. I was surprised, to be honest with you.
It's just that maybe gameplay just wasn't that great because they got like a 65, 62, 61, 58 on the PC.
Which checks out for that kind of era of game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of terrible platformers.
What else we have? We got David Beckham Soccer came out. So David Beckham got a soccer game.
Game Boy, yeah.
Oh, they didn't show his face. They better show his body, man. Like that, what was that, cologne or whatever the hell I used to see. Oh, underwear commercial, whatever it was. Calvin Klein or whatever? I don't know.
Yep, Calvin Klein's, I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it got 65, though, so it wasn't that good of a soccer game. It probably was a lot of David Beckham haters who was reviewing that.
Yep. Man, they need to come out with LeBron James basketball.
Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee came out for the GameCube, and it came out on Xbox also. They come on, the PlayStation said fuck them for some reason, or they say fuck them, or they say
couldn't
fuck
handle the power of Godzilla, Dominic. That's what it was.
Yeah. But it got rated at 73, 71 on Xbox. Game Boy Advance had a version too, but it wasn't that good, 53. And yeah, you play that as these monsters. You pick one of the several monsters, and I guess you just fight them. And it's like, I guess it's a city, and you can kind of destroy it like a.
Yeah, I think it was like an arena brawler type thing.
Well, yeah. Which, see, PlayStation had a game called War Monsters. That was just all made up monsters though. But it was actually pretty good, I think. I think it got like around 7s and 8s when I saw it. I played the demo of it. I did like it, but I just wasn't going to buy it. All right, I probably, you know what? But the thing is, I probably would have bought it if they actually had real name monsters, because that's I would care more about that. All right, so we got NBA 2K3, and this is what obviously I'm still in the front.
Yeah,
NBA Live 2003, which is Jason Kidd was on the front when he was on Nets.
I had both of these games.
And then you have TimeSplitters 2. I did play this, didn't really like it much, even though it did get rated pretty good. Actually, really good. It got a 90 on PlayStation 2 because it just didn't have a story, and I just didn't understand what the fuck I was doing. Like, I didn't have the concept of playing a game first-person shooter, not knowing why I was doing what I was doing for some reason. It never grabbed me. It never grabbed me until 3. When 3 had a real story and it was about time travel and stuff, I loved that game. But people loved it because they loved the first one too.
Yeah, but the first one, did the first one not have like any single player or any kind of story-esque thing?
It did have a single player, but it's just no story. You just start the level. And I was like, oh, I'm in ancient Egypt. I'm in whatever. That's only the one I remember is ancient Egypt one. But it was other places. So that's where I got the time kind of splitting stuff from. It's like, oh, I guess you're playing things in different eras. Not knowing why I was doing it. It just happened. Evolution Skateboarding came out, and who's on the front
that's
of it?
One with Solid Snake. I don't know if he's on the cover, but that's the
he's not on the cover.
Big kind of thing of it.
I don't know who's on the cover. And that's why they got this face cover by his knee. But yeah, but here's the popular skateboarders: Rick McCrank, Arto Sari, Kerry Getz, and Danny Way. And yes, the big thing was like you could play as Solid Snake though.
Yeah.
And do some shit.
There was a tanker level too.
And there's a Frogger. You can be Frogger also on a skateboard. You could be a vampire hunter. I think it was Simon Belmont. Yes, Simon Belmont, maybe. Or I mean, I don't know if he actually had the name though. This says vampire hunter. It could be Rodden. Rodden can do it. You can play as people who hate him. I guess.
Can I play as naked
crash?
Rodden,
Oh God, I remember that. Oh, yeah, whatever, naked Rodden. Yeah, that's small ass. All right, so what else we got here? Red Faction 2. I did play this. I played this and beat it, and it's definitely not as good as Red Faction 1. I didn't enjoy it as much. It got an okay score, 84, but it just, I don't know. I couldn't. Destruction ability didn't feel the same. Oh yeah, go ahead, Lamar Jackson. It just wasn't as good. Like, I just remember in Red Faction 1, I used to just go through walls. It's just like, it's always just, it's like, I ain't going through this door. I'm going through the wall right next to it. I was like, oh, and just go through. Cause I never played a game like that where I could destroy, it feels like I could destroy anything at that time. And this one just didn't have that same feeling to it. It didn't have that same kind of openness for some reason. Actually, I bought this game. Yeah, I bought this game used. Yeah, I have this game. But yeah, it was okay though. I mean, I had fun-ish, I could say, but I wasn't like, definitely wasn't what Red Faction 1 was, man. I mean, Red Faction 1 was awesome. I want to know if there's somebody, it's got to be like a Red Faction on PC I could play that's been like really updated or something. It's probably crappy, but I kind of just want to play that again. All right, we got Wild Arms 3. I played Wild Arms 1. Actually, you know what? I did play Wild Arms 3. I don't think I beat it, though. I think somebody let me hold it. And I think I enjoyed it a bit, but I think I was just playing other games. I just couldn't focus on it. It got a 78 on Metacritic, so it got decent scores. I mean, it had its following. Wild Arms had its following. I don't know if they had a sequel to this. To this one. I don't know if this might be the last one, or there was like some kind of Wild Arms with the subtitle or some shit. Game. Let me see. Wild Arms. Let's see how many games were there. Yeah, there was. Oh, there actually are some. There's Wild Arms Alter Code F, and then Wild Arms 4. Oh, there was a Wild Arms 4 that came on PlayStation 2. Damn, I didn't know that. Wild Arms 5. Man. What the fuck? I didn't ever heard of these. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at the cover of Wild Arms Farm. I ain't never seen that in my life. I never seen Wild Arms 4 in my life. I'm looking at the cover of this too. I don't know what the hell is this? Wild Arms 8. These are like some anime shit. What the hell?
These are definitely not the Wild Arms I remember.
I thought Wild Arms 3 was the last damn one. But
it's the last one that mattered, Dominic.
Yeah, exactly.
Last one when there was still a Final Fantasy killer.
Man, yeah, because it came at the same time, and I remember this dude telling me, "Say, hey, Wild Arms, man, it's pretty good, man." I said, "Man, ain't no Final Fantasy. Ain't no goddamn Final Fantasy. Ain't got Wild Arms." Say, "Where's the movie scenes like in Final Fantasy? Where's those cut scenes at?" Saying they ain't got them. They ain't got no freaking fire dog tiger thing like in Final Fantasy, where the hell Red 13 was. Let me see what we got here. We got X-Men Next Dimensions. I never played this one, but it is the Mutant Academy, which is the fighting game. And it didn't totally suck. Actually got a 61 out of 61.79 on guess game rankings. Well, 61 out of 100 on Metacritic for PS2, 63 on GameCube, 56 on Xbox. I don't know why that one got worse, but maybe the Xbox magazine didn't like it. Nope, they did. No, they did. They gave it a 7.3. So I don't know what it did. But yeah, it's just a better looking one of those. Yeah, I didn't really play Mutant Academy either.
Yeah, same.
Because I played it, but they weren't that fun to me. I prefer, Marvel vs. Capcom, or hell, I'll play the X-Men versus Street Fighter shit over this. All right. Here's one, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. I think we talked about that, but this is not the really good one. We won't see that until next year. Two Towers was the one. And then another big one, RollerCoaster Tycoon 2. My friend, because he cannot wait for this. I mean, he kept talking about it because he had RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, and like he told me how fun that was. And then I had gotten it when it was like the gold edition with all the DLC and shit. And I used to play the shit out of that game. And I cannot wait for 2 because it's like, oh, yo, they got real parks. They got real, things from Six Flags. I said, oh, my God, I can't wait to play that, too. And, yep, used to play that, kill people on those rides. Oh, my God, it was so awesome. was so awesome doing the I forgot what they called it when they the ones that it shoots up and then it drops down and it like shoots up real fast and drops down. I used to always make it shoot up super fast so it goes off the rails and those people will land somewhere else on the park somewhere. No. It would be a minute. Say boom, you say boosh. They say, oh, so many people died. I say, oh, look at that. I said, I got insurance, so I can cover it. Yeah, love playing this game. This is another one of those games I will lose hours. Like, I think I played this the summer of... Actually, no. See, RollerCoaster Tycoon 1, I played, I think that summer, or the summer before last. I played that for like a whole summer, just playing that game, man. Like, just losing time. And this one, I did play it a bit, but this is also the time. Yeah, I was in senior year. I didn't get it when it first came out. So by the time I got it, because I was also working too. So like that summer I was working. God, I hated. Yeah, I hated between my college and senior year summer, working that crappy ass fucking ice cream job. Shit. Oh man, those bad memories. Good / bad memories. All right. So what else we have here? We got No One Lives Forever 2 came out. A Spy in Harm's Way. And this is the game that was kind of like a comedy version of James Bond, or if you want to talk about Spy Who Shagged Me, Austin Powers and shit. But that's the one I watched the most. That was actually the first Austin Powers I've seen was Spy Who Shagged Me. Oh. I had never seen the first one until after that one. And you know what? I had never watched the third one.
Is that the gold member one?
Yeah. I don't know how well Beyonce can act. Even though, you know what? I saw Dreamgirls. That's the only movie I ever seen Beyonce in. Was Dreamgirls.
So she's incredible, is what you're
saying. She was okay in Dreamgirls. I mean, she wasn't bad. She was all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd never seen. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see Goldmember. I honestly don't know why I haven't watched it. But I mean, from what I heard, the best one is the one I've seen. the second one. But yeah, No One Lives Forever. I'd never played it though. But did you play this one? I know you played the first one, right?
I definitely played the first one. I don't remember, honestly, if I played the second one. They kind of blend together in my head, but I remember the series as a whole kind of being a big thing, especially at the time for a PC first-person shooter, basically, is where that lived. And it's kind of weird. I'd say it's kind of weird, but all this stuff is complicated, especially when companies like disappear and whatnot. But I'm surprised that we haven't gotten some revisitation of this series yet.
Yeah. What else we got here? We got Tasmanian Tiger. Yes, this is the 20th anniversary of this great franchise.
The ultimate platformer.
Yep, and he now he's back in in HD form, but hopefully
in POG form.
Will come back. How do you say?
In POG form.
In POG form, yeah, yeah. And now, and hopefully maybe the franchise could come back. Maybe EA can just bring it back to because maybe his popularity came back with that the remastered of it. I don't know, but yeah, man. I mean, I never played this game. Never played it. I feel
like I should give it a try at some point. This and KO the Kangaroo, both of those deserve some attention.
And you already played Sphinx, right?
Yeah, I played a little bit of Sphinx and the Curse of the Mummy, but I should go back and play the remaster of that game.
What else we got? We got Knockout Kings, which was a GameCube exclusive, which we did not know. Knockout Kings 2003.
The last Knockout Kings game, too.
Who's on the front of this? This is Lennox Lewis?
I think this is Lennox Lewis, yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this is getting to the point where this is the only boxes I know. So, after a while, I'm not going to know anybody. But actually, the thing is, they kept putting people that I knew on the cover. Yeah. So, this went back. Then NBA Inside Driver, which is the Xbox NBA game, exclusive NBA game under their brand. I totally forgot about this branding. That's what it was called. And Paul Pierce was on the front of this one. I'm not going to say it wasn't that great. I'm just going to assume that because I remember nobody ever talks about this. Nobody talks about talks about
any of the Xbox exclusive sports games, really.
But that's probably the most I ever heard was NFL Fever because the NFL is big. But NBA, I didn't even know that freaking title. I never heard anybody ever say NBA Inside Drive was actually pretty good.
And there were 4 of those games, Dominic. 4 of them.
I don't even remember enough from the time. That's
and
the thing.
They all basically got 76s. Like, they sound like they were perfectly suitable.
Yeah, but it's just that when you got live in 2K, why?
And even then, 2K was already kind of asserting its dominance, because I remember having both of those games that year, but it was like, oh yeah, if you want to play a serious game, you play the 2K game. If you want to just smash that like turbo button, run down the court and dunk on somebody, you play NBA Live.
Yeah, because I was in the 2K. Like, I like 2K. Yeah, I used to play with the Kings, man, because that's when Kings had Reggie. Not Reggie. They had Chris Webber. They had before Mike. Well, they had Mike Bibby eventually, but then I liked it when it had Jason Williams. They used to call him like, oh shit, it's Eminem playing basketball, and that's like the but no, yep. And I was like, oh look, it's White Thunder or something, White Chocolate. Yeah, I used to love playing that game. And yeah, and that's it, man. That's it for the flashback segment. So we're gonna take a quick break. When we get back, get to the gaming news.
All right,
and we're back. Now let's get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So basically last month this happened, but we never touched on it, but it's definitely worth talking about. Over at Game Informer, they have a new editor-in-chief now, one Matt Miller, after Andrew Reiner left after several years over there. And, you know, he took the spot after Andy McNamara left as editor-in-chief, and now he's moved on. Andrew Reiner is now with Gearbox, helping them out. So what do you think, Dominic? We see these guys who even have been in the business this long still going on to leave and go to these video game companies. Is this, you know, these guys finally fulfilling that dream of, oh, I was just working in games journalism to get my way into the game industry? Or is this something like Andrew Reiner saw the writing on the wall? Unfortunately, Game Informer as a publication has, you know, slowly diminished, and we're getting to the point where its ownership is just, you know, tearing it apart piece by piece, where to the point eventually that site, I feel like the magazine alone is just whatever, but like that site is not going to exist anymore for much longer, right? Like what they're doing to that company as a whole seems like it's going to drive it into the ground.
Yeah, a whole thing about fulfilling that dream is I almost feel like they could have bended that, or that's a real long time.
That's why I say the other option, right? Like those are two guys, Andy McNamara and Andrew Reiner. It's like if they wanted to just like find a way into the games industry, they would have done that a long time ago.
Yeah.
It just seems like that's kind of a lot of what you see from games journalists. But those guys, it definitely feels like maybe they just saw the writing on the wall and were like, we got to get out of Game Informer before Game Informer decides we're not in the Andrew Reiner business anymore, you know?
And so he's going to Gearbox, so I guess he's going to do like some magic tricks with
yeah. God, I cannot wait to see him get on stage with what's his face and do some magic. Randy Pitchford.
Yeah.
Seems like he's doing community stuff over there, so that makes sense.
I mean, what did he give those games? He probably gave them like nines or something. So
you don't want to go back and look at that. Don't look at his Tiny Tina's review, Dominic. 10 out of 10, best game ever. That was his audition. Randy was like, if you give me this 10, I'll bring you on.
Yeah.
Game Informer is such an institution. I mean, we would probably say the same thing about EGM if it was, 15 years ago. But like, Game Informer feels like a thing that shouldn't ever die, but it feels like we're very close to the point where that's a possibility, right?
Yeah, I mean, because it, like the biggest game magazine when I was younger, like Game Informer became big when I got into high school. That's when it became big. Like the biggest, like, cause it came like number one, probably middle of high school for me. Cause GamePro was the biggest thing in my very, very young adolescence. Like that was the biggest thing in games. Like GamePro was the one I saw, the big ass magazine. I mean, yeah, it's filled with ads, but they were the ones. They were the number one gaming magazine. And I always think about them. So when they finally went under, I mean, when I started seeing Game Informer getting big, I mean, I didn't think GamePro was going to go away. I just thought like, okay, Game Informer got big. I mean, it's with GameStop / Funkoland at the time. I said, okay, that's understandable. That growing because of that. But I also wasn't really looking at the print business because I wasn't paying attention. Like, oh, is print going away or something like that? But GamePro never made that transition to really like a site, to an internet site like that became big. Like they almost like a Blockbuster or something. Like they didn't get in the change when they had a chance. Like they should have, like when IGN started doing shit, they should have been started doing shit too, at least with them, to establish themselves so that when the magazine goes away, at least you have that. Cause like you're known, like you said, y'all should have been ready, but I guess they weren't ready for that. And I didn't think they were going away. Then EGM, like it really was until the 360 days when I start seeing really like, man, why do we need print? Because like everybody, like I just read everything on the internet now. Like, I was like, man, magazines really going that way. Even though I still like holding a magazine in my hand, looking at stuff. At least at the time. At the time, I did. Now I'm not that big. I mean, I would like if I see a magazine, you pick it up and go. Yeah, I would like that too. But I don't want to buy it. You know,
I want to buy it. I don't want to deal with having it afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, if I could just recycle it so easily, like it can go away real quick, then yeah, I would do that. But yeah, like if I had so much story, like honestly, I do like look at the old ones I still just have, just to say just nostalgic reasons. Yeah. But I wish I had like a place where I could just put it, and it could be easily accessed, and it could not get messy in there. But that's just asking for too much. So, but yeah, it's something, man. It's like, yeah, man, we're at that point. Man, I'm kind of ready for it. I mean, I've been prepared. I mean, it's always been happening. So when this stuff start going away, like these things are changing. I'm like, hey, man, it's part of life, man. Darn, I mean, I just think of like all the things when I was there when I was younger, or probably with my parents and like stuff, like what they went through, all the change, like when color TV came around. I mean, that was like, man, all the CRT TVs, you know, going away and stuff like that. I think they miss it. Yeah. I think they miss those stuff's name. They don't like the HD.
It just makes me realize how bad my eyes are, Dominic.
Yeah.
Back when the TV was blurry, I could just blame it on that.
Or you like, it's funny. Well, I sent you that tweet where the guy was like, how you used to what was it? Like going to Blockbuster, say you see hundreds, seeing the hundreds of movies. Like you just saw a whole lot of stuff you just wanted to see, but now I see tens of thousands of them and don't want to watch anything. And I want to watch any. And I was like, that's exactly but that's because it's a bunch of shit. That's why. I mean, I ain't say it was a shit there, but it was just somewhat. I don't know. It seemed like I could get to the stuff I want to see a whole lot easier, but now it's just like shit is just spewing. Yeah. Like it's like diarrhea. I mean, it's just coming. It's just constantly coming. At least because you got to do a lot of work. You do work to get stuff out there back in the day. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, not saying you don't have to do work. It's a lot cheaper. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier.
You have companies fighting over your work to just fill their content tube.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you gotta do your work to get a movie out there, man. And even if you saw a bad movie, I mean, it was every now and then, but hey, it'd be something you can talk about. Say, oh man, this thing was horrible. It was like real quick, but you know, it just was different. It's different times.
Yep.
So, oh man, block the kick. This is the Jets in Green Bay. Okay, what's the next story?
All right, Dominic. So speaking of the olden days, Star Trek, the Resurgence game that's coming from the former members of the Telltale development team, that has been delayed till April of 2023. So into 2023, but not too far into the year. Still kind of the first quarter. That doesn't seem that bad to me, right?
No, it's not bad. I just totally forgot about this game.
I was going to say, except for the fact that I didn't even expect it to come out this year, to be honest with you. But yeah, because they're doing this, and then the actual, what is now the Telltale team is doing what's that show that you watched on Amazon?
Shit. Expanse.
Yes, The Expanse. I'm going to say The Abyss for some reason, but I knew it wasn't.
Okay, but wait a minute.
The Expanse.
Telltale's doing The Expanse, yeah. And who's doing is another show. Somebody's doing something, but it's similar to Telltale, but it's not Telltale. Oh, the Tale of the Borderlands is being done by Gearbox, I guess.
Yeah.
They're not big.
That's going to be out in mere weeks, isn't it?
And then what? I thought it was another franchise that was being done.
Not sure.
Damn, that was kind of story based. Maybe that was it. But I thought it was something else. But no, Telltale is still doing Wolf Among Us, right?
Yep. They're also working on that. So they're working on that.
And what's coming out first?
I think The Expanse is scheduled to come out first.
Which is funny because we saw the preview for Wolf Among Us first.
Did we?
Yeah.
Ah.
I didn't know about Expanse till after Wolf Among Us 2 trailer came out.
I know they did put out that Wolf Among Us expanded look not too long ago. But for some reason
I didn't watch that one. I was talking about the teaser.
Yeah. For some reason I thought the Expanse one came out first. Let's see if they have any date on here. Does not look like they have anything besides 2023 right now for the Expanse. I would not expect to see the Wolf. Yeah, the Wolf Among Us is also 2023 right now. So they could, come out same year within months of each other. But yeah, so I like that style of game. I don't know how excited I am for a Star Trek based one because I've never been huge on the Star Trek kind of universe, but it could be very cool if they do something interesting with it. I hope it's not just one of those games. I want to see the evolution of one of those games at this point. Same with Wolf Among Us. But for them, I'm just excited for the story.
What Star Trek is this based off of? The new stuff or old Star Trek?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Let's see what they got here. It has Leonard Nimoy in it, but it's old Spock. So let's see.
You already did the voice for him before he died?
Yeah, I'm sure they've just got some guy doing his voice.
They got the guy who played him in the new Star Trek movies.
Zachary Quinto. Maybe. That would be weird, hearing his voice come out of Spock's face, I guess. Maybe they do have maybe they did record with him or just using old dialogue, because that is Leonard Nimoy's voice.
Darn, that means they really did this game, worked on this game early.
Yeah, he's been dead for a while now. Maybe that's just a good voice actor, and I have no idea. I'm going to go with they're either using old stuff or they're using some kind of AI voice generation thing.
Please get a touchdown. Please get a touchdown. Shit!
No.
It's a guy on my fantasy team who I want to get a touchdown.
But
he got pushed out of bounds, but still, he got some yards. But I don't want that touchdown.
So apparently this is set after the events of Star Trek Nemesis during the era of the Next Generation.
Oh, yes. Next Generation. Thank you.
So it focuses on two original protagonists, the newest members of the USS.
So after Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy being the clone of Picard.
Exactly. Yeah, so it's that generation of stuff. So yeah. All right, next up, Dominic, we got Crash Bandicoot 4. It's About Time. That's coming to Steam on October 18th, which I did not realize it hadn't previously been on.
Oh, it was an Epic Store exclusive for a while?
It was on Battle.net, and honestly, I think it was on Epic Store. I could have swore it was on...
Who the fuck bought it then? Now I was about to say it's on Battle.net. Like, that's one of those odd freaking titles on Battle.net. Man, I know it's like part of Activision shit, but it's just like...
It might have just been Battle.net, because when I type in Epic Store, it just comes up with the Battle.net.
I want to know the sales. I really need those sales, because I'm like...
I was one of them. Yeah, I'm glad though, because that was free on PlayStation, like 2 months ago now?
Oh, shit. That means I can play it.
I'd like to give that a try, because it seems like it's pretty all right.
Damn, and he's still caught, and he didn't drop it. Shit.
But they're also teasing a new game. They sent out like this pizza box to influencers, YouTube influencers, that said, it's coming to Steam on the 18th, and also wait for something more for $12.08. So people are like, oh, 12.8, that's the Game Awards. So they're expecting an announcement there, but it sounds like the rumor is they're working on a party game. So maybe not a new Crash Bandicoot thing necessarily that people might be excited for. So we shall see, Dominic. Something to possibly be excited for. Need for Speed is in fact happening this year. There was a lot of talk of, hey, there's a Need for Speed game coming this year, but we haven't heard a single thing, and we're already in October, so how is that possible? But Need for Speed Unbound has been announced for December 2nd. It's coming out on PC, PS5, and the Xbox Series consoles. This has a pretty cool style to it. The characters are like cel shaded, almost like American style anime looking. And then during the races, like the cars look realistic, but they have kind of street influenced overlays over top of them, kind of graffiti style, kind of neon light kind of things. I want to see if this actually ends up being anything worth talking about, kind of more than that.
So did you see the trailer for this? This is true next gen, right? This is only next gen.
I don't know about true next gen. It is only releasing on next gen, but I didn't see anything there that
nothing is true
mind.
Next gen. Yeah, let's just say that, because I haven't seen closest game I ever seen. But then again, I didn't realize how good Ratchet and Clank looked at the time on the PS4. It was the newest Ratchet and Clank, but I'm trying to think of something else.
Yeah, I mean, even something that looks as good as like God of War Ragnarok or Horizon Zero Dawn. Like, there are actual PS4 versions of both of those games, so it's hard to say like those are next gen experiences in any way, shape, or form, really. So yeah, so we will see how that turns out. All right, Dominic, in some other news, we had Meta Quest Connect. What's that?
I'm looking at Andy Dalton, because Andy Dalton's a redhead and he got a mustache, and it is red.
Oh yeah,
Cheeto stashed.
Wow. All right, so we had Meta Connect. That is the Meta / Facebook, Oculus, whatever you want to call it, kind of announcement program. And there they announced the Meta Quest Pro. This is a $1,500 headset coming October 25th. It's kind of focused on prosumers and enterprise stuff. What's that?
What you say? How much you say it was?
$1,500.
Woo! Okay, that's good. I like that price point, because it makes me not care.
There you go. Yes, it's focused on the prosumer level. It's got 4 times the resolution.
The prosumer.
The prosumer. The consumer that has enough money to buy one of these things is basically what they're saying. They're switching out the Fresnel lenses with pancake lenses, which are flatter. That's allowing a more balanced headset. So the upfront part is not as heavy because they're also putting the battery portion in the back of the headset to kind of alleviate some of that stress on the front of your face. It's also going to be adding expression tracking and kind of inside out tracking for the controllers as well. So you don't run into the problem where, like, if it's behind your back, the cameras on the front of the headset will lose tracking, basically.
I seen the commercial for this watching a football game.
Oh yeah,
I think one of the college football games. Yeah,
okay.
Man, I did not realize that was the price point. I was thinking like maybe 500 to 600. So I was like, because they're showing it here, so I'm thinking like, hey, this is
right. It seems a little crazy.
Man. Yeah.
They're just like, hey, anybody that wants to buy this thing, but then
reality,
it's like,
oh look, they got the Pro. Let me go see. Oh shit. It's like, oh, this is not nowhere near like the price like the Quest.
Yeah, they're touting backwards compatibility and stuff, but the reality is, like, this is for a serious consumer or someone in like the enterprise space where it's like, hey, we're gonna do this 3D walkthrough of this,
that's how the commercial was
like that.
Yeah, it was like them doing the business thing, say, hey, this is how we setting this up and blah blah blah. Yeah, stuff that I'd never do.
Yeah, they're definitely kind of focusing on that. They're teaming up with Microsoft to do like Teams integration and stuff like that as well. But kind of some of the other big news is they're also teaming up with Microsoft to add Xbox Game Pass streaming to the Meta Quest 2. And they do not have a date for that yet, but that sounds pretty awesome, Dominic. You were talking about watching movies in there, but like playing your games in there too. That'd be nice.
Oh, that would be definitely nice. That'd definitely be nice.
I would like to see like maybe a resurgence of 3D games on, more traditional platforms. We saw that with the PS3 back when the 3D TV craze was big. You had like Uncharted 3 come out in 3D.
Play that Avatar game.
If you could have like a faux 3D in some of these games.
I played the Avatar game. When they came out, it was a 3D game.
Don't tell me you're not going to watch Avatar 2 in your headset, Dominic. Don't lie to me.
I am.
It's going to be game changing.
Yeah, when I will get it, I'll get it. Because that's the only way I will see it, and I ain't going to the theaters.
Yeah. I wonder if they will do some sort of release for that, because I don't know that they're doing like 3D Blu-rays for modern like Marvel movies or.
Oh, yes, they are.
Oh, are they? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you talked about some of those, didn't you?
Yeah. The newest ones they are doing them.
Okay.
Some movies they didn't do it. I don't know about Marvel, but I know there's some movies they didn't do it for. But when I was looking up all the movies I kind of wanted to see, they did it.
They did.
And I was like, okay, because they just put it in with the packs
with
or
the
the
4K
Blu-rays
Blu-rays and stuff like that.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Because I think Doctor Strange did have it. I believe so. I didn't watch it yet though. Okay. So I'm kind of going through the Marvel order, like looking these things in the Oculus. Like right now, I'm waiting for the Incredible Hulk, but I'm kind of watching something else. Cause I think I watched like Quantum of Solace again. Kind of go through James Bond now, and that movie Quantum of Solace I like it more than when I first saw it. When I first saw it, I was really disappointed. But after seeing it again, it's a little bit better. I think I went in like not really knowing what the fuck was going on. I honestly did not think about he was getting revenge. That whole movie, I didn't know what he was getting revenge for. I was like, what the fuck? Who the fuck died? Did I miss something? And then I was like, oh shit, the girl from Casino Royale. I said, oh damn. I was thinking like, I thought she was a traitor. That's what I kept thinking. But she kind of was and wasn't. It was just one of those spy things like, oh God, whatever. You don't get attached to anybody. I think that's what he learned.
That's the lesson you gotta learn. Yeah. All right, Dominic, and some other meta news. Meta picked up a couple of studios, including Twisted Pixel, who you may remember from Splosion Man and the Kinect game, the wacky wavy inflatable tube arm Western guy. I forget what that thing's called now. They've also put out some stuff in VR more recently. There was something Heart. I can't remember what it was, but that was all right reviewed. They also picked up Camouflage, who did the Iron Man VR game for the PlayStation. That is no longer going to be exclusive to the PlayStation VR. That's going to be coming to the Quest soon, I believe. And then Armature Studios.
Oh, so it's not that powerful? I mean, it's not powerful enough. I mean, that I could play it on the Quest? Good.
Well, this is the original Iron Man. So, yeah. The PlayStation 4 VR stuff.
Oh, that one. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't that kind of powerful. But yeah, Armature did the former people from Metroid Prime, but they also were the ones that ported over Resident Evil 4 to the Quest for its VR version.
Sylvester Stallone gotta be like an 80 something, right, man? He's got a movie coming out called Tulsa King. What's he doing in there?
Interesting. Yeah, so they picked up those studios. I don't know how I feel about that, as long as like these games can come out elsewhere. I mean, I know right now, like even if you ask me, I'm gonna say like if you're looking to pick up a VR headset, you would pick up one of these Metas, preferably the 2, unless you got the money to get this Pro thing. It sounds like the 3 will be out sometime next year, and they're definitely leading the pack, but at the same time, I think they're going to run into problems if you're not trying to continue to broaden the VR horizon for whatever entry point you can kind of get in at. And people are still picking up some of those other headsets. So we will see. And some other news here, Dominic. Horizon Zero Dawn, we were talking a little bit ago about you playing the PC version. But there might be a newer, better version coming out soon, because there are now rumors that there's going to be a remake or a remaster. It sounds like in the vein of A Last of Us for the PS5 of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah. What's the excuse people gonna make? Who made the excuse for Last of Us? I mean, what? It's just
Sony's got to make money, Dominic. That's their excuse.
Yep. This doesn't even make any sense. It literally doesn't make any sense at all.
2017, Dominic. It's only been 5 years.
It just don't make sense. It's like, dude, why? Like you.
The best explanation I have seen that makes the most logical sense is that Sony wants to make money, and because there is talk of a Horizon Zero Dawn television show, basically they want a $70 product that they can sell you when that show comes out, and sales of this game boost the same way that when the Witcher series came on Netflix, everybody was buying The Witcher 3 again. So from like a business standpoint, it makes sense. From a fan standpoint, it's like, oh, okay, Sony's just going to get their money. That's all I can take away from it, is like, okay, they're going to dedicate resources to this. Because for Last of Us, you could almost say like, okay, Naughty Dog is taking an old project and doing some work on the PS5 to get their people acquainted with the PS5 architecture. But that's not the case with Guerrilla Games, because they just released Horizon Forbidden West on the PS5. They've put that work in already. So there's no real excuse there. It's literally just got to be a business decision if this actually comes to fruition. That's all I can take of this.
It really is. It's very cheap. I said very cheap, but it's definitely a lot cheaper than a brand new game.
Yeah.
Like it is. I mean, you're talking about. You're not paying writers. like you ain't paying no storyboard. I mean, like, that cost is out. And I mean, it's a lot of things like the planning and stuff. I mean, planning is still there, but the planning is not going to be much like storyboard and all that stuff. Like, how do we do this?
All the ramp time that it takes, between like a project, you're not wasting money with that. It's like, all right, here's what Aloy look like. Make her look more next gen. Here you go. So yeah,
I mean,
it's
like one of those things where,
absurd.
like, hey, I wouldn't mind playing it again some other time, but is it needed? Hell no.
Yeah.
It's just like, fuck no. I'd rather have a new game. I mean, because you still got that game, and I think I want to think the original game plays better on the new system. Like, it has, like, is it optimized for PS5? Did they do some optimization to the first game?
I don't remember if it's like fully optimized or not. I mean,
if it's not, that's awful. That's awful then.
We're not putting effort into this. We're releasing a brand new game. I just can't imagine that this new one is going to be like that big of an improvement over the PC version, like running on a high-end graphics card, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, at least for Last of Us, there wasn't a PC version of that to compare that against. So, I don't know. It's wild, Dominic. Sony's making some choices. Whether they're good ones or not, we will see. But they're definitely making some choices.
Yeah, that's right. They got the PC version, so you would think they'll have something for the PS5 to do what.
Yeah, just tone that up a little bit. Add some ray tracing or whatever. I don't know. They want to charge you $70 for it, though, Dominic. That's going to be what it comes down to.
Last of Us, that was $70, right?
Sure was.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it's going to be about. Last of Us, that's the exact same thing with The Last of Us. The Last of Us show is about to come on, and they want a product out there that, hey, I'm watching this Last of Us show. I want to experience the game. Okay, here it is for $70 instead of $10, which you could probably get it for before. So that's what it's going to be about. All right, Dominic, speaking of people being cheap, it sounds like Bayonetta is going through some stuff right now. Yesterday, as of recording this, Helena Taylor, the original voice actor for Bayonetta, came out with a couple of Twitter posts basically saying that she had to go through an audition again to get the role of Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3, which it sounds like may be a fairly standard process. But of course, she got the job because she sounds most like herself. But from there, she was then offered a $4,000 to record the entire game straight up, flat fee, no residuals or anything like that. And she basically took that as a spit in the face and decided not to continue on with that. She said she reached out to the game director, and he basically said, like, no, thank you. Or rather, from what it sounded like, what I gathered is they offered her something even worse than $4,000, and then she wrote to him, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, $4,000 is what we can do." And I have no context for what a voice actor gets paid. We were talking about this a little bit before we properly started recording, but. Mm-hmm. It seems like most voice actors are getting by working a lot of different roles, right? Like you see them all over the place unless you have like a solidified series like a Simpsons or something like that.
Yeah.
But even then, $4,000 seems kind of low. There was a post on the Game Informer comments that basically said $900 and something was the SAG after a kind of minimum wage for 4 hours of work. So we're talking like if it takes more than 4 days of 4-hour work for you to record the entirety of this game, you're getting paid less than minimum wage with that $4,000. Clearly it was also something that she felt was not enough. The crazy thing about it is then you consider the fact that they've since brought in Jennifer Hale to do the voice for Bayonetta in Bayonetta 3, and there's no world where I can imagine her getting paid $4,000 or less for something, for a role like this. It just seems kind of crazy to me because Jennifer Hale in our video game nerd world is a much bigger name than Helena Taylor or, hey, that lady that voiced Bayonetta, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So it seems like they just wanted her out. I mean, everything that I've been seeing people say is basically like this is a screw you or a fuck off kind of offer to her, which makes me wonder why if she did have to go through an audition again, why they would even pick her at that phase. But it's not like you bringing in Jennifer Hale is going to garner more sales. So I don't know. There just seem to be so many weird choices here by Platinum Games, because I assume they didn't expect her to come out and basically talk about all this stuff. You know, she said in the video, NDAs be damned. I don't know if this contract is part of an NDA or if she's just saying, you know, she's had NDAs with them previously for the first two games, so they thought she might not be willing to talk about this stuff or what. But it just seems kind of crazy that, you know, here we are
but
with this scenario.
Yeah, I don't know. I just wish. So I'm guessing. I wonder how much she got paid for those other two games. And
yeah, that's another question.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe those games she got paid for $4,000, but then she was like, look at how much these games are selling. You know, how could you offer me such a low number? Because she does start out her first video by saying, you know, this is a franchise that has made this much money. I know there are some people out there that are kind of like going against her, because she also basically says like Jennifer Hale probably shouldn't have taken this job. She's not Bayonetta, you know. Basically, by her being out there saying she's Bayonetta, it's basically like if I were to say I'm Eva Green when I voiced the character who was played by her in a movie or something like that. And that has definitely not gotten her any sort of, you know, positivity from some of these sides of the internet. But again, it just seems so complicated. Like, it seems very weird for any of this to have gone down the way it did. Like, why wouldn't you want the same actress from the previous games unless she was difficult in some way? And then why would you put out a statement? Because Platinum basically said when they talked about replacing her, oh, her schedule didn't line up. Like, that's something very easily she could refute and then, you know, say like, no.
Yeah. Why would you put that line? Yeah. If that wasn't the truth, why would you put that out there?
Yeah. So it seems.
Yeah, because I would have been pissed because I'm not saying she wouldn't have said anything if they didn't put that out there, but you kind of open it up.
Yeah,
so like, hey,
he definitely opened the door for her to be like,
you really wasn't going to lie and say it's our schedule? Well, it's just like, it wasn't about no schedule.
Thought you not pay me the dollars.
Especially if I'm out there online where people can ask me and stuff. What you want? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to lie for your ass. Especially if you did that. If you did something where I thought you should have paid me more and I didn't, why would I lie for it? Yeah. Why would I say, yeah, it's true. We just couldn't get the schedule right.
Yeah. So basically now she's calling for a boycott of the game and saying, hey, take your money and, you know, give it to charity instead, which I'm just reading that as pirate this game, Dominic, if you want to play it. She is supporting that.
Well, the only way to pirate it is I mean, man, there's other ways, but the easiest way to pirate it is do it on like the Yuzu or Jiku, whatever it's called.
What you should really do is, like, if there's a way to do this, and I feel like there's got to be, she should release a voice pack on Patreon for like $50 or something like that, or maybe something a little lower than that, depending on how many she thinks she could get sales wise. But like, release a voice pack where you just redub all the lines in Bayonetta, and then you can replace them in Yuzu like you would with like a translation patch or something like that. And that would just be hilarious to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seems crazy to me. There's so many layers of like this just being messed up that I don't know where, you know, the real story is here, but like $4,000, while like may seem like a lot to some people when you compare it to like standard minimum wage in a in a menial job. But like when you compare it to like other celebrities or what I would imagine, like we talked about, $900 for 4 hours of work for SAG after work, you know, this seems kind of like pennies compared to that. So
yeah,
I could definitely see why a very skilled, trained person thinks that, you know, they're not being valued in the way that they should be. So. All right, Dominic, that is the news I saw this week. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Nah, I think I'm good.
All right, we will get into new releases then, Dominic, for these past couple of weeks. First up, the big one, Overwatch 2, now out on the Nintendo Switch, PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series. That is free to play, of course. That sounded like it had a very rocky start, including issues with the requirement to have a cell phone with like a...
Oh, I played some of that. My
Did
fault.
You? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't play online with people. Well, actually, technically, I did play online with people, but it was like we were playing against bots. But I thought I thought it was just gonna be me. And then I started seeing like, hey, these names they look like real names, and they were real people. And I was like, oh shit,
Smoke it up 420 XXX. Definitely a real person.
So but yeah, I play a little bit of it. I didn't play against people like in an arcade game though, because I hadn't played in so long. So I just played with the bots, just playing around with it a bit. I think did I record any of it? I don't know. I did it on the Xbox. I played it on the Xbox. I didn't feel like booting it up. Because I had to go download the Blizzard fucking launcher and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't feel like doing that. But yeah, I mean, it's just Overwatch. I can tell you the changes. I played with one of the new characters. It was, I mean, what she do? I forgot what she do. I'm gonna be honest with you, I totally forgot because that was 2 weeks ago. Early 2 weeks ago. So yeah, I don't remember exactly everything I did. I'll have to play some more again some other time. But yeah, so yeah, I didn't have to go through that because I waited. Well, I waited till I saw that you don't have to do that. Like they said, some people they started taking it out that some people don't have to do it, and maybe I was one of those people, or because I already had a Blizz account. I don't know.
Maybe,
I don't know how that. Yeah, because I just sync my Blizz account with my Xbox, and so right through. And yeah, for us, we will have all the characters unlocked. It seems that way. From what I saw, because we played the game before, even though we suck, we will still have all the characters unlocked. We don't have to go through that.
I do wonder if they've fixed kind of the migration stuff, because apparently there was like, if you tried to meld or merge your Blizzard account with your whatever account you were previously playing with, you know, you could lose some skins or something like that, at least temporarily. But we were also always kind of playing with Blizzard accounts, weren't we? So I guess that wouldn't really matter because we play mostly on PC.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think only time I played on consoles when they had free weekends, and I don't think I merged them then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think I merged my accounts then. Because I had to do it. I had to do it this time. So
yeah. I don't know, Dominic. I'm still just on the lookout for the PvE stuff.
I had the skin for the Junkrat. Okay, I had his skin, so it did come through.
All right. We also got Nier Automata, the End of Yora edition. That's the Nintendo Switch one. That's out now. So if you're looking to play that portably, you can do that if you didn't already play it on Steam Deck.
Oh, we didn't talk about the news about what is it? What's the organization in Europe or the UK about Xbox's gaining Activision Blizzard, them acquiring them. There was some dispute. I didn't read it though. I just saw someone talking about like they were using talking points that Sony used about them.
I've heard some speculation because they're basically saying they're going into like a further level of looking into it. I know some people were speculating because Jim Ryan, like, I think like personally visited or something like that, oh man, you know, maybe there's something going on there. This is his home turf. So he's trying to to flex a little more muscle, because there are people there that, you know, he might be associated with, so he might know some more people there to kind of get this issue forced a little more. But it doesn't seem like anything they're doing, whether it's considered petty or not. Some people may consider it. I think maybe I consider it a little petty at this point. Because the reality is, like, they seem to be the only company that has a problem with this, right? Like, you have other big companies.
Yeah. I don't hear Nintendo saying shit.
Yeah. And because Nintendo know they compete on a completely different level. Like, they haven't had Call of Duty in how many years? But
exactly,
that's the reality of it, right? Is like, Sony could compete without Call of Duty, but they know it's easier to have a console with Call of Duty than to have to figure out what they do from there if they don't have a Call of Duty. So they're gonna flex their muscle a little bit, see if they can get somebody on board to stop this. But the reality is they probably won't, and it'll go through, and they'll live their life, and they'll move on, and they'll buy some big company and start making a first-person shooter if they haven't already. I mean, they have Destiny already, right? Like, it's not Call of Duty, but at the same time, those are a group of people that have created some very large first-person shooting franchises, including Halo.
But they don't control what they do, though, Daniel. That's what the people are mad about.
Sure they don't. You're telling me that Sony, the now owners of this company, can't go, guys, we really need you to make one of these now, and they're not going to do that? Okay, sure. These people are delusional if they actually think that. So,
and also they said they're not taking their game off. And even though technically Microsoft didn't take no games off either, but y'all just assuming, and okay.
I mean, if the agreement that they're going to stick around for like 5 years or whatever is true, then okay, but Bungie hasn't said anything about the next 5 years.
And that's what I'm saying. I was saying, like, what? Okay, you think Bungie's going to be Destiny 2 forever? I mean, I wouldn't think so. I would think
when Destiny 3 comes out, is Destiny 3 going to be on the Xbox consoles?
Fuck no. unless Bungie's not with Sony anymore.
Yeah. So, like, there you go. Because that's the reality of it. That's like, we're not saying, oh no, Warzone's not going to be on the PlayStation. We're saying Call of Duty 76 when it comes out in 2029 or whatever is not going to be on there. Like, come on.
Yeah. When Call of Duty, when they do it's finally enough time away from COVID to do the COVID wars.
Oh my God, Dominic, please don't. Please don't. It's already The Division. Ubisoft already made that game. They can't do that. All right, Dominic. Next up, we got No More Heroes 3. That's down on the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S. Or Series consoles. So if you didn't get a chance to play that on the Switch yet and you were looking forward to that, you can play that there. Conversely, now out on the Switch is No Man's Sky. So if you have not gotten a chance to play that and want to play that on the Switch, you can play that there. You also have Nintendo Kart Racers 3 Slime Speedway, now out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. So, if Mario Kart is not your bag and you're looking for Nintendo or Nickelodeon characters, you can check that out. Yeah, Lego Brick Tales out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4,
I'm not seeing really
PS5.
Great reviews for this.
What's that?
I'm not seeing really good reviews for this. I mean,
for the Lego one?
Yeah.
Really? I wondered, because there's that one that came out on iOS that I thought people were very positive on, and I was thinking that's what this was, but I guess that's not, and I think that game already came out. So that's disappointing. I feel like it should be pretty easy to make a
9 out of 10 on Steam, but what was the Metacritic at? I know IGN gave it a 7 out of 10. I mean, I'm not saying top, like I thought I was going to start seeing 8s or something. But I wasn't seeing that when I was looking at it initially.
I would be very intrigued to play a game where I could just get Lego sets, like real life ones, but make them in virtual space.
I mean, it got okay. It got okay reviews, like 76. Well, for the PC version anyway. Let me I'm trying to get a console one. Let's get PS5. 63 on PS5. Xbox got 74. 70 on Switch. So yeah, it's somebody got 60. I always say 63. Yeah. The highest one is the PC one. I wonder why. Maybe the PC one maybe could do more stuff. I don't know.
Maybe just interacting with a mouse feels better or something like that.
Yeah. I could see that doing that.
I would really like a Lego with official sets in VR game where I could just build Legos in VR.
Yeah, but the highest score I see from the one publications like we know of is GameSpot. They have an 80. But everybody else is 70 or lower.
Yeah. Yeah. That's unfortunate. All right, Dominic. Next up, we have Dragon Ball The Breakers. This is out now on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One. Honestly, I meant to look this up earlier because I have no idea what this game is. It's an online asymmetrical action game in which a team of 7 ordinary citizens tries to survive the Raider, a classic Dragon Ball villain such as Cell, Frieza, and Boo, who will hunt them down and evolve during the game into an unstoppable force.
There's another Dragon Ball game coming out that's based off like the Cell Saga stuff, right? What was that one called?
I don't remember at this point. I'm having such a hard time keeping track of Dragon Ball games.
No, it wasn't this one. It was Darn Dragon Ball like Cell. Let me see. And it like it's new. I mean, it was showed off at either not E3, but whatever, one of those shows. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
The Cell games. Oh, it's called the Cell. Is it called the? No, it ain't called the Cell games.
Oh, okay. I guess basically people were saying that the Dragon Ball The Breakers is kind of like a Dead by Daylight, where like one player would be your Frieza and all powerful, and then you're playing as these ordinary citizens who get superpowers.
Okay. So maybe this is it. This is the game because is it one where you play as Cell? Somebody plays as Cell, and then
Cell.
Yeah. Okay, this is it.
Gotcha. Yeah,
this is crazy.
It feels like, I completely forgot about this game's announcement at all. And The Breakers just is such a generic title that I don't even.
Yeah, what does that even fucking mean for like the Dragon Ball universe?
They're going to break you down. Also, like, I guess at some point, like maybe you become a Super Saiyan or something, but like, that's the whole thing about wanting to be in the Dragon Ball universe is to have these superpowers.
I don't know how you become a Super Saiyan. I always thought you was just a regular citizen. This is when they come and you're a regular citizen trying to survive.
That's what it looks like, but like, where's the fun in that? I'm in the Dragon Ball universe. I want to be able to fight these guys at some point.
They're just trying to give you a new perspective. Like, hey, this is Dragon Ball universe, but this is you being a regular citizen, even though I don't. Yeah, I personally don't care about that.
Like, to me, you would kind of want it to be like Battlefront, where basically like, oh, I have this power up now and I can play as Darth Vader. Like, oh, I found the Dragon Ball, so now I can become Goku or something like that. Because me just like trying to survive and outlast these like supervillains just seems crazy to me. It's silly. All right. Next up, Dominic, we got NHL 23 for the PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. I don't know hockey. Do you know who's on the cover of this?
Oh no, I don't know. It's Canadian. Is it a Russian?
See. It is Ukrainian. Trevor Zagaris and Sarah Nurse.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a woman on this one, and she looks like a biracial one, right?
She does.
Yes. Yeah, I've seen her before. She's pretty.
Canadian woman star Sarah Nurse, and the Anaheim Ducks Trevor Zagaris. So that is who was on the cover of that. We also have PGA Tour 2K23, starring Michael Jordan and Steph Curry, because they like golf.
They're really?
No, they're not on the cover, but they're both in the game.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's interesting. I'm surprised they didn't get Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers too.
You know, I have not heard anything about that, but maybe they could add them.
But you know what? They probably got Michael Jordan and Steph Curry because, like, hey, we need some more black people.
It could be. I mean, cover athlete, of course, this year, Tiger Woods. So
yeah,
bringing it back.
That'll be the only one.
Yeah.
He'll be the only one, and he's biracial. Then they gotta say, hey, we got some legit black people here. just.
All right, and then as I mentioned earlier, Scorn is now out.
Oh, that's what they can do, Charles Barkley, because he's all into. Well, this would technically is not about basketball, so they couldn't get him because he didn't want to be in a basketball game because he felt like they're not paying enough to the old players.
Right. I feel like that would still probably apply to this, right? Like, because it's still the same company, so he'd be like, "No, I'm not gonna work with them."
Well, technically, it was 2K he was talking to,
right? But that's who this is.
But I thought this was the I thought this was what we call it. I thought it was EA.
The EA Sports one. No, this is Tiger Woods is on the PGA or the 2K game.
Oh, was this the first time he's ever been on front of this?
Yep. Switch sides, Dominic. Switch sides. They can keep their Rory McIlroy or whoever they got over there riding in his little hoverboat.
Do they got the Masters in this one?
That I don't know. PGA Tour.
Then I might actually try to play it.
Let's see. Both games, as well as the 2K23 game, feature the franchise popular course designer tools. So while Augusta will not officially be in 2K Sports World, rest assured someone will painstakingly recreate every blade of grass to simulate the real thing.
Whatever.
But none of the majors are playable in the game's career mode.
I want them to, because I want the announcers to tell me that. I don't care about the simulations. Really, like it cannot even. It don't even have to even look like Augusta because I don't know what the fuck it looks like.
I don't know.
What I just want the announcers. Like. Yeah, I just want
give me the
green
jacket at the end.
Yeah, I just want the announcers to be like, we're in Augusta or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, there's that.
Some dude in a white suit. Wearing an all white suit there too, and looking like a slave plantation owner out there. So, yes.
So you're gonna say the Colonel, looking like Kentucky Fried Chicken Colonel, but also like that's the same thing. So yeah. All right, Dominic. Then last one, Scorn. Talked about that earlier, though. You know that is out now on Game Pass. It is $40 otherwise. I don't know if that's a $40 game necessizily, but yeah, I'm gonna continue trying to play it.
Yeah, it's actually cheaper, which is funny. It'll be $70 on PlayStation.
It's cheaper, but also like for a 4-hour game, if that ends up being 4 hours, like for what I've played so far.
Oh no, I
don't know.
Yeah, it's bad, but I'm just saying I'm surprised they actually still made it not $60.
Yeah. This is Microsoft, Dominic. They love us. They love the gamers.
Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna say that.
There's one thing Phil Spencer loves. It's his wife and the gamers.
So hold up. I know this is exclusive right now to Microsoft, but is this published by them too?
Let's see. Scorn. It is published by EBB Software. So no, it is not published by Microsoft.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we could very well see this on PlayStation eventually, at which point all the Sony fanboys currently saying this is an awful game will be like, all right, we got Scorn. Check us out.
I need to start paying attention to the betas because I missed a few betas on games. I mean, the Call of Duty one I missed, but I wasn't a big deal on that. I did want to try out the Street Fighter one, though.
Yeah.
Because that game, I like the look of that game. It looks pretty good.
When does that come out? Let's see. Street Fighter. Because it feels like that was just announced. Okay, they're saying 2023.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm thinking like honestly, when we first saw it, I thought it was going to be a long time from now, like maybe late next year. But the way people keep seeing it, I'm like, oh, is this like coming out sooner than I think it is?
I could see this taking the Mortal Kombat spot and, coming out by like April next year. Because I can't imagine if they're already doing betas and stuff that this is going to get pushed out until like.
Oh, did we talk about the Batman? We didn't talk about the Batman, did we?
No. What's up with the Batman?
About people are mad because it's not going to be more than 60 frames per second on the consoles.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's not going to be 60 frames per second on the consoles. It's just going to be 30.
30?
Yeah.
Wow.
And people are upset because they're saying that why are you just telling us now? Like, people like, I put a pre-order in. Yeah. And they said, y'all just doing this because you people weren't going to pre-order or something. Well, some people not going to pre-order because they worry about that. And I mean, that's right. Now, at this point, see, I mean, it's all up to you. Like, if you like it, but I'm not going to get mad at somebody now because I think at this point, especially with these new consoles, you really have to tell me why. And then for this, they said that because I forgot what the reason they said. You gotta look. It's up there because the people had an article of it. How did they say it? I forgot. Like, I think because of the multiplayer and stuff, that it takes a lot that they want to have it consistently running, so they didn't have it. That's their reasoning. But I feel like, well, you need to work harder. Work harder and get it working because
it's hard to just say work harder, but like, yeah, the company should be putting more money into
it wasn't that hard,
working
Daniel.
harder.
It kind of just came out my mouth.
You know what I'm saying. I need to tighten up the graphics on level 5 or whatever. But like, come on, yeah, like what are these new consoles doing if they're not producing games that can run better? Because this is new console exclusive too now, isn't it? Yeah, it's next gen console exclusive. That's the thing. Yeah. So that's what some people are playing. Is like trash.
Darn, what if it's? They said we're getting last gen games on next gen consoles, which I was bitching about, which I was complaining about, which I was thinking like, why nobody else is bitching about this? Because I'm like, anytime a game says a next gen exclusive, ask them why. Because I want you to ask them why. Because I'm thinking like, what is this game doing that I can't do on this other the last gen console? And you going to charge me $70 on fucking PlayStation? Like, what the fuck is doing? And I'm like, if it usually games what they do at multiplayer, it's lower resolutions. I remember they used to do. Like, yeah, the Halo didn't look as good as if you were playing single player or multiplayer, but it didn't matter because you're playing fast pace and stuff, and like it doesn't matter about that. And this, I know it's just like, oh, it's in this world, but I don't know. I feel like you could have made it work. You could have made it work to a point where it's not totally bad. Like you say, okay, it runs better. It's like, okay, like graphically, it's like performance mode. It's like, hey, I'm playing performance mode. You have to play in performance mode if you're playing with multiplayer. I feel like you just did that. You could have did something. And like, oh, if you want to play single player and you want to look all nice and graphically, then yeah, it can look better. But I don't know, man. I felt like it could be done. They probably ran out of time or something. I mean, it sucks, but the thing is, that's for today's games, man. I mean, it's like, why? Like, we're thinking we're at the point where that's the thing. Like, hey, things could be 60 frames per second. Like, things can run smoothly, like, still be good. Like, I ain't saying it gotta be 120 frames. Like, people will bitch about that. Fuck them.
But
I don't
also,
give a shit.
yes, it should be 120
because, frames. yeah, because your eyes can see but so much. And 60 frames is where I can see a difference between 60 frames and 30 frames. 120 frames, I can see somewhat of difference, but it's not for me, it's not always better. It's just different. And I'm okay. 60 frames is where I'm at. Like, I like 60 frames. Anything higher is just like, I don't know, more icing on the cake, I guess. That's all that really is. 30 frames is okay. It all depends what I'm doing, how I'm playing. If it's consistent 30 frames, fine. But I don't know. I feel like the option now for these new consoles, like 60 frames, man. Like that should be a thing. Like that should be a thing now. And it sucks that this game is not on the consoles. I mean, on the PC, obviously, yeah, it's going to be fine because it's your PC. It's whatever your PC can handle. And for the next gen consoles, yeah, that sucks. It's like I'm just playing a game. Yeah, it looks good, but it's just not what's so much different than like these last gen games. It's like, is this really?
Absolutely.
I'm really just buying this console just so I can be able to play the new games. Not so much I'm getting a new experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's essentially what it is. It's like me having a
spending
PC.
$500 for the privilege of playing a game that you just aren't releasing for no real reason.
No, like, well, me with my old graphics card, I can still play these games. It's just not going to look as good. But I can still play them. See, that's the difference. So it's not like I can do with that on the Xbox One, though, with some of these games. It's like, I just can't play them. Even though I'm thinking, like, this could play slightly worse on here. It's like it have to be horrible, but it's like it doesn't have to, like, it doesn't seem like a game I have to play on this new console. Like, this ain't like a PlayStation on a PS2 or PS3. Like, it's not like those days, man. Or even, at least with the Xbox One and PS4, it was the, like, amount of stuff or space, to have on those games that it sort of made sense for some of them. Like, the early ones, like, yeah, they were on both, just like here. But as time went on, you saw some games like, yeah, it couldn't be played on an Xbox 360. It can be played on PS3. We are in what year now in this? And you're just not seeing really a big difference. Like, Gears 1, I saw a big difference from Xbox.
Absolutely.
And even some of the PS3 games, like, even the ones that weren't great, but they still looked awesome. Like Resistance didn't look great, but it definitely looked better than anything that was on the PS2. You saw the difference. Like, you're not seeing that now. And I know which is, what, I'm okay with that. If he didn't make it require me to have to get a whole new system to play it, because I'm like, it'll be better. It's like, yeah, it'll play better on that one. Okay. But it's like, man, this game didn't have to this is not really next gen. It's next gen exclusive, but it's not really next gen exclusive. It's just exclusive because I only can play it on, current gen. But it's current gen now, but like, whatever. Yeah. I hope that the Rocksteady game, then I hope that doesn't turn out to be like that.
I would hope not. I was going to say I can't imagine it, but I also don't think I would have imagined a game this high a profile coming out exclusively on next gen consoles and PC, giving you only the option to play at 30 frames per second.
Yeah.
But it also seems like Scorn is locked to 60 frames per second. So I don't know if I'm just missing an option that I need to like disable to see if I wanted to play it at a higher the frame rate or not. It seems weird.
Oh, you mean like more for Scorn to go higher, like 120 frames or something?
Yeah, like 120 or 144 or whatever.
And you're playing on PC, so that's different. Now the PC version of that game, I think it is higher, but can you just go max, or there is a limit still on the PC version of the Batman?
That I'm not sure, because I hadn't heard about any of this frame rate limiting stuff. So I would hope.
Yeah, because it's really just a console. It was really just a console that was the problem. Yeah. But still, I felt like.
But even then, that means for PC, they're not optimizing anything. They're just like, oh, you throw enough raw power at it, you get a 4090 or whatever, and maybe you can get, 120 frames per second or something like that.
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
it feels like to me. Because it definitely seems like a game that shouldn't.
And I just want to know when they were working on this.
Fairly 60 on.
Was this game
normal?
Now when they started working on this? Was this always intended for next gen, or it changed? You know what I mean?
I think it changed, didn't it? Because they were talking about a PlayStation 4 and an Xbox One version at a time, and then they canceled those. I thought.
All right. So then, why can't it go 60? Good God, yeah. I would think that would
just
be
visually looking at that game. It feels like a game that should not have any issue making it to minimum 60 frames per second. If not higher. Because even consoles, visually it doesn't look sometimes
like so
higher.
stellar. Yeah, it doesn't look like a super big difference from Arkham Knight.
Yeah, Arkham Knight, even Arkham Asylum. Like obviously it looks sharper. The textures are higher resolution and stuff, but nothing that I'm seeing there is anything that, like, if I booted up the PC version of Arkham Asylum or Arkham City and pumped up the graphics as high as they'll go, like I don't see that much of a difference there.
Nah.
So that's crazy. People are rightfully mad about that then, I would say. So hopefully they can do some work and patch it. And
yeah, man, get your pitchforks out there. Get your pitchforks and your death threats ready.
Yep. So, yeah. All right, Dominic, did you have anything else for the people this week?
Oh, no. I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. You check us out on Twitter. Dominic's at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at Supapod. SUPAPOD. Supapod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and basically any place that you listen to podcasts, you can find us. Until next time, guys, we'll talk to you later.
All right, see you.